Chapter 31 Tang Lan is going to cause trouble, Flanders request. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright, forget physical damage, time to bring the magic. First soul skill, Eagle strikes the sky. Flanders channeled his soul power, launching an even faster assault, attempting to overwhelm Tang Lan, but when his soul power entered Tang Lan, it simply vanished, the immortal seal. Then, with his next attack, a feeling washed over him. Wait a minute, yep, his own soul power. What the heck? Tang Lan can actually steal soul power. The more Flanders fought, the more freaked out he became, and the less soul power he seemed to have. He was starting to feel like he was being drained dry, his confidence plummeted. He was a soul saint, a mighty level 78. And he was getting shut down by a level 40 kid? Looking at Dai Mubai and the other kids below, he saw the weirded out looks in their eyes. Flanders knew he had to act fast. Otherwise, he'd lose all credibility as Dean. Sixth soul skill, Golden Cat Eagle. His golden armor reappeared. Flanders grabbed Lei Yan's Haotian hammer, relying on his higher level to shut down the wild hammer technique, no longer holding back. Lei Yan's Haotian hammer unleashed a powerful offensive, striking Ling Tian head-on. Boom! Flames and lightning exploded around Flanders, and the golden armor dimmed. Flanders' palms vibrated as he barely held on. He secretly sighed in relief. Gotcha. Second soul skill, Cat's Eye. He locked down Tang Lan. Fourth soul skill, Eagle Claw Cutting. .10 sharp air blades flew toward Tang Lan from both sides. Tang Lan retreated, repeating his earlier trick. He used Lingbo Wei Step to weave through the attacks on the Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor. This time, though, the air blades had homing capability and tracked him. No choice, Tang Lan cancelled the Lei Yan Haotian hammer martial spirit and recondensed it in his hand, spinning it rapidly. He created a shield around himself. Haotian body protection. Then he controlled the Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor to form a shield in front of him. The air blades followed, slicing through the Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor, and hit the shield of light. Clang! 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 Amidst the constant clanging, the golden light on Tang Lan's body surged. As the immortal seal worked overtime, he emerged unscathed, having tanked the fifth soul skill. The seven-ringed soul saint's fifth soul skill. Of course, it cost him 30% of his internal energy, but it wasn't a huge deal. Nine Yang Divine Art was activated, providing a constant supply of internal energy. The immortal seal also absorbed a ton of soul power for his next attack, but that was it. Ouch! Tang Lan deliberately screamed and flew backward. The Life Soul Blue Silver Emperor tried to slow him down, but was shredded. Bang! He hit the ground, kicking up dust. The show was big. Xiao Wu's heart tightened. She rushed over, worried. Flanders, though, was suspicious. Then he understood, this kid was putting on a show. Interesting. The dust settled. Tang Lan knelt on one knee, holding the Lei Yan Haotian hammer. His clothes were ripped, his hair a mess, and his face pale. He looked like he had suffered serious internal injuries. Adding to his handsome face, Zhu Zhuqing's cold heart ached. She felt bad for Xiao Wu. Don't worry, I'm fine, Tang Lan said through their mental connection. If I don't play along, Dean Flanders will lose face. Xiao Wu was taken aback, her worried expression faded, and she glanced strangely at Flanders landing. She lowered her head silently, afraid she'd be caught smiling. Zhu Zhuqing and the others gathered around. I have a big sausage. Oscar handed over a few recovery sausages, and Tang Lan downed them without hesitation, choosing to ignore that spell. It's good to get the sausage's flavor back. It restored a little internal energy. Tang Lan relaxed his control and his complexion returned to normal. He complimented Flanders. Thanks, Dean, for holding back. I was getting ahead of myself. Flanders was a little embarrassed at Tang Lan's shamelessness. If a student was so willing to play along, he had to reciprocate, right? He immediately praised, I had the level advantage. If it weren't for your sixth soul skill defense, it would have been a toss-up. At the same level, Xiao Lan, you're unbeatable. Within 10 levels, unless it's a super martial spirit, you'd still win. Even 20 levels above you, ordinary soul masters would get drained if they can't break through your defenses. Of course, that advantage will shrink as the level increases and the soul ring's effect time decreases. But until you get to the seven-ringed soul saint with true martial spirit form, the difference won't be too big. That was high praise. Tang Lan nodded, he finally knew his limits. Wow! You're amazing, big brother. Xiao Wu exclaimed. Everyone nodded, more eyes drifted toward Tang San. No one said it out loud, but everyone was thinking it, born to the same parents, how could there be such a difference? Ahem. Flanders shouted, finished your laps. You haven't had dinner, right? That everyone was shocked. They scurried off. Ma Hongjun, stay. After everyone was gone, Flanders looked appreciatively at Tang Lan. Xiao Lan, except for group activities, you have free time. When someone took care of his ego, he should return the favor, Tang Lan chuckled. Thanks, Dean. Flanders pulled Ma Hongjun over and scolded. I heard you had a problem with Xiao Lan yesterday. Did you run your mouth again? Apologize now. Ma Hongjun had seen firsthand how strong Tang Lan was, he was terrified. Hearing this, he nodded and bowed, apologizing. I was running my mouth. Won't happen again. Brother Lan, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Flanders looked at Tang Lan, waiting for an answer. Tang Lan shrugged. Since the dean said so, let's forget yesterday. Ma Hongjun breathed a sigh of relief. He wouldn't have to worry for a while, he thought it was over, not so fast. Xiao Lan, I have a favor to ask, Flanders said, a bit embarrassed. During the fight, I noticed your soul power is very strong, masculine and pure, seems like it can restrain evil spirits. Hongjun's martial spirit mutated and he was born with an evil fire, that's affecting his personality. Could you try and get rid of it? Or use your life soul blue's silver grass to try and suck it out. Perfect. As expected of the master, he was thinking of Ma Hongjun, just right. Tang Lan already planned to conquer Ma Hongjun, he nodded. I can try. He raised his hand and put it on Ma Hongjun's shoulder, channeling the pure internal power of the nine-yang divine skill. As soon as it entered, he encountered a strange, sinister feeling within the heat. It merged with Ma Hongjun's soul power, becoming entangled, extremely hard to separate. Tang Lan used the nine-yang divine skill to turn his power into a blazing sun, melting the evil spirits. But the heat itself was melting too. Ma Hongjun's original soul power was plummeting. It was like killing 1,000 enemies and losing 800 of your own. Tang Lan withdrew the nine-yang divine skill's internal power and frowned. It wasn't that it was difficult. If Ma Hongjun could learn the nine-yang magic skills, this wouldn't be a problem and would actually help him. But Ma Hongjun, you know about this, right? Tang Lan asked suddenly. Chapter 32 Exposing Ma Hongjun. Ning Rongrong went crazy. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Ma Hongjun, you know this yourself, right? Tang Lan asked, catching him off guard. Ma Hongjun looked confused. Know what? Tang Lan scoffed, pulling no punches. Sure, your evil fire has its downsides, but it also keeps you constantly energized. If you just put in the hard work, you could burn off the excess and minimize the negative effects, making you way better than anyone else your age. But you took the easy way out, pigging out and chasing women. Living the good life, huh? Ma Hongjun was stunned. How could Tang Lan figure him out in just 10 seconds? Flanders' face darkened with anger. Had he been played? Lacking the inner strength of the nine-yang divine skill, he couldn't perceive the true nature of that strange aura. He'd let Ma Hongjun's misleading words cloud his judgment. But there was no way Ma Hongjun didn't know. Ma Hongjun. Flanders roared, is this what I taught you? You're a liar to your own master. Asterisk snap asterisk. Ma Hongjun immediately dropped to his knees before Flanders. Master. I messed up. But exercise is so exhausting. He whined. I tried it on my own, but it's inhuman. Tears streamed down his face as he poured out his true feelings, tugging at Flanders' heartstrings. He's just a kid, after all, and maybe a little too fond of fun, but a glance at Tang Lan out of the corner of his eye snapped him back to reality. How much sweat must Tang Lan have poured out in private to become such a monster? If other kids can hack it, why can't you? From now on, you're banned from those places. Flanders declared sternly. Your training is doubled, and if you can't finish it, you don't eat, Ma Hongjun wailed. That'll be the death of me. He tried to beg for mercy, but Flanders kicked him away. You can ignore me if you want, but don't call yourself my disciple anymore, that shut Ma Hongjun up. He knew there was no room for negotiation. I know, master. I'll try my best. Try. No. I'll do exactly what you say. Ma Hongjun corrected himself hastily. Get out, Ma Hongjun turned tail and ran, grimacing. 80 laps. At this rate, he'd be lucky to eat a midnight snack. Why? Flanders sighed heavily. This kid Hongjun was abandoned by his father as a child. Since taking him in, I've tried to be extra caring. I never expected him to develop such a sneaky side. Tang Lan didn't comment. Ma Hongjun's character issues were definitely linked to his upbringing. Well, Dean, if you don't need anything else, I'll get back to my run. Go ahead. Oh, Dean, Tang Lan added, just running isn't that effective. It'd be better if Teacher Xiao turned on his gravity enhancement. Running with weights improves everything. Flanders looked at Tang Lan, surprised. Xiao Wuji's gravity enhancement wasn't just about adding extra weight. It targeted muscles, bones, internal organs, even meridians. It was exhausting and painful. Who could handle having the weight of a shot put hanging on their heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys for an extended period? Yet Tang Lan had experienced it yesterday and was still asking for more. Then give it a shot, Flanders said, nodding. He called back the others. Ning Rongrong was nowhere to be seen. Flanders frowned and looked at Dai Mubai, who was leading the group. Ning Rongrong said she was tired and wanted to shower. Dai Mubai reported. Flanders was furious. Mubai, go get her. Now. Yes, Dean. Dai Mubai darted off. Flanders' dark expression mirrored Tang Lan's thoughts. Oscar and the others shot Tang Lan resentful looks. Always gotta remind the teacher to pile on the homework, don't you? What's that supposed to mean? Xiao Wu said, annoyed. He's doing this for everyone's benefit, not to hurt you. No, Ma Hongjun quickly explained, I didn't mean anything by it, it's just. Tang Lan waved dismissively. They'd understand the benefits of a gravity room soon enough. Teacher Xiao, let's get started. Xiao Wuji wasted no time, summoning his soul ring and unleashing his skills. Image issues be damned, he wore his hooded robe and hid his face. In the chaos, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing managed to grab Tang Lan in time to keep him steady. The others instantly collapsed. Wow! Teacher Xiao. Sneak attack much? Oscar cried. Broad daylight, and you're still wearing that robe? That the only response was a gradual increase in gravity. Looks like the gravity isn't strong enough if you still have time to notice these things. Xiao Wuji said calmly. This time, Oscar was the target of resentful glares. Did you have to open your big mouth? Compared to Tang Lan, Ma Hongjun had a valid excuse. Big sausage uncle, shut it. Oscar felt wronged. What was up with Xiao Wuji today? Did he swallow gunpowder? Alright, stop lying around, Flanders snapped. Look at Xiao Yan, he's already jogging, dragging 3 others with him. Oscar raised his head with effort. Sure enough, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing were holding on to Tang Lan's blue-silver emperor vines, and being pulled along by him as he jogged. Tang San was hanging on his back, taking baby steps. Good grief. Was this guy's body made of steel? They couldn't lose to him. Oscar gritted his teeth and pushed himself up, swinging his legs and moving forward step by step. Seeing this, Ma Hongjun could only get up with a grimace and follow the group. Flanders was not happy. Ma Hongjun was a combat soul master. How could Oscar, a support soul master, have better stamina? His gaze returned to Tang Lan, lingering on his wristbands, belt, and shoes for a moment. It seemed Ma Hongjun's willpower needed some serious work. Half an hour later, Dai Mubai dragged Ning Rongrong back, her hands tied with rope and looking furious. Clearly, there'd been some unpleasantness. Flanders. Ning Rongrong exploded. You little seven-ringed soul sage, how dare you tie me up? Her wild energy drew everyone's attention. Tang Lan watched. It seemed the lesson from last night hadn't sunk in after all. Her rebellious nature ran deep, and she couldn't control her temper when provoked. This was going to be interesting. Flanders' face darkened, and he waved Dai Mubai to join the group. He touched the Shang Fong sword on his chest, Ning Fengzhi's letter. Full of confidence, he still believed he could tame this wild child. Chapter 33 Tang Lan's Secret. The sniper rifle is finally here. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. With the sword of Shang Fong out, Flanders was feeling confident. He cleared his throat, raising his voice, either pack your bags and leave, or prove you're serious about changing. Dai Mubai and the others were stunned. The dean was laying down the law on the seven treasure glazed sect's little princess like that. He'd be even harder on them. They immediately picked up the pace. Flanders nodded to himself, exactly the reaction he wanted, but then. Oh, really? Ning Rongrong scoffed. And if I don't leave, Flanders, what are you going to do about it? Flanders didn't get riled up. He just waved his hand. Mubai, pack this young lady's things and toss them out of the academy. How dare you? Ning Rongrong shot back, eyes flashing. I'm young, but you're the first, or maybe second, person to ever pull something like this on me. Flanders ignored her, fixing Dai Mubai with a glare. What are you waiting for? Dai Mubai was feeling miserable. Why was he stuck being the errand boy? But he didn't dare argue with Flanders, so he reluctantly headed off. He deliberately slowed down, giving Ning Rongrong a chance to back down. No such luck. Don't you dare move. Ning Rongrong snapped. If you take one more step, I'll have the seven treasure glazed sect put a bounty on your head. Dai Mubai had a temper, too. He gave Ning Rongrong a look of utter disdain, activated his spirit, and bolted. Flanders was taken aback. He just wanted to scare Ning Rongrong, not actually go through with it. But now it was out of his hands. He refocused on his educational guidance. I don't care if you're the seven treasure glazed sect's princess. Here, you're just another soul master. Everyone here has more potential than you do. Ning Rongrong's eyes widened, fuming. She scanned the group, carefully skipping over Tang Lan, Xiao Wu, Tang San, and Zhu Zhuqing, all higher level than she was. Her gaze landed on Ma Hongjun and Oscar. Finally, she settled on Oscar, who was also an support-type soul master. Pointing at him, she declared confidently, whatever else, I'm definitely better than that creep, right? Oscar, creep. His commitment to keeping his distance just got a whole lot stronger. This princess was trouble. Oh, really? Flanders countered. Have you ever met a food-type soul master with full innate soul power? That stopped Ning Rongrong cold. Her first reaction was, no way. Impossible. How can an support-type spirit have full innate soul power? Flanders smirked. He might as well have been laughing at her ignorance. Oscar's one of a kind. Give him time, and he might just take your place in the seven treasure glazed sect. Ning Rongrong's eyes were as big as saucers. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Suddenly, Flanders barked, Xiao Lan, step forward. Tang Lan blinked. Did he just get called out? He stepped forward, confused. Flanders instructed, take off all your weights. Tang Lan immediately understood. This was going to be a real blow to Ning Rongrong. He took off his wristband and tossed it aside. Bang, star. The sound of the heavy object hitting the ground startled everyone. They turned to see the wristband embedded in the ground, leaving a small crater. How heavy was that thing? Bang. Another hole appeared. Bang, star. Bang, star. Two shoes went flying, leaving two more potholes. Boom, star. That was the belt, and everyone felt a slight tremor through the ground. The most outrageous thing was, Tang Lan took off his coat and the black vest underneath, revealing steel cable muscles that looked like they were about to burst. He threw it, boom, the pebbles around it jumped. Hiss. A collective gasp went up. Xiao Wuji actually winced. This kid had sparred with him yesterday, and he was wearing all that weight. Looks like these guys had underestimated the Soul Sage quite a bit, huh? Except Xiao Wuji was the one who was going to pay the price for it. Even Flanders was shocked. He knew Tang Lan wore weights, but he had no idea they were that heavy. Xiao Lan, how much does all that weigh? Flanders asked. Each wristband is 400 pounds, the shoes are 800 pounds each, the belt's 1,600 pounds, and the vest is 2,000 pounds. That's 6,000 pounds total, Tang Lan replied. Everyone was floored. Wait a minute. Tang Lan was just in the gravity area, still wearing all that weight? Their minds were reeling. They didn't want to accept it. A few seconds later, Zhu Zhuqing suddenly looked at Xiao Wu and gently touched her wrist. You. I'm not as strong as my brother, Xiao Wu said, sticking out her tongue. My weight's only total about 900 pounds. Tang San silently backed away into the crowd, too embarrassed to admit his paltry 250 pounds, after all, too much weight stunted growth. Ning Rongrong, Flanders continued his lecture. People who are better than you work harder than you. What right do you have to be so arrogant? Out of everyone here. You're the worst. Ning Rongrong felt like she'd been punched in the gut. The seven treasure glazed sex princess had never been talked to like this in her life, but she couldn't argue with it, and she felt miserable. Remembering the previous night, she felt a wave of sadness. She shot Tang Lan a venomous glare. I hate you. Then she turned and ran, tears falling and shattering on the ground. Tang Lan was left standing there, confused. What'd she hate him for? It was Flanders who laid down the law. Flanders, ever the experienced mentor, saw what was happening. Xiao Lan, go tell Mubai to stop packing Rongrong's things and come back. Then go comfort Rongrong. Tang Lan looked confused. What was the dean playing at? But he nodded anyway. Put all the weights back on. He expanded his blue-silver domain, letting the blue-silver grass send the message through a spiritual connection. Dai Mubai had a seed of his blue-silver emperor spirit inside him, and could pick up the message. He turned to Xiao Wu, comforting her. I'll be right back, don't worry. Then he took off after Ning Rongrong. Flanders breathed a sigh of relief. The test was over. He turned back and saw Ma Hongjun still dawdling at the back of the group. His face darkened. Ma Hongjun. If you can't run, I'll supervise you myself. Ah. I was wrong. Ning Rongrong hid in a tree, sobbing in the midst of the downpour. She'd never felt so wronged in her life. She cried and cursed at the same time. When I get back, I'm going to have my dad buy this dump of a school. And Dai Mubai is going to get Grandpa Bones to hang him up and whip him. And that damn Tang Lan is going to get Grandpa Sword to arrest him and play roulette. Tang Lan was impressed. Still acting like the spoiled princess, huh? The second she opened her mouth, Ning Rongrong was so startled she jumped out of the tree. Tang Lan threw out a blue-silver emperor seed and used it to pull her back. Let me go. Ning Rongrong protested, struggling. I don't need your help, Paji, Ning Rongrong landed on the ground, her head spinning. Did that jerk just drop her on purpose? She was just saying things in anger. He really didn't care about her at all. Tang Lan jumped down and squatted in front of Ning Rongrong. Can't you see that without your father's okay, the dean wouldn't have dared to treat you like that? If you go back and make a fuss now, you'll only disappoint your father. Ning Rongrong was willful, but she wasn't stupid. Once he put it like that, it clicked. Dad, he thinks I have a bad attitude, too. Of course he does. What do you expect? Tang Lan said, sounding genuinely annoyed. You think your dad wants a daughter who's unruly, disrespectful, and throws tantrums at every turn. Ning Rongrong fell silent. Tang Lan kept hammering the point home. He wasn't trying to comfort her, he was trying to make her see reality. You've probably never had a friend who tells you the truth, right? Well, how could you? The people around you are willing to die for you because it's their job, but ask them, who's actually willing to turn their back to you? Sure, people are divided into different levels, but you're in support type Soul Master, and a 7-treasure glazed pagoda at that, with no offensive power. Your father's not going to be around forever. After you take over the 7-treasure glazed sect, you're going to find out that there's no one you can trust. Do you think Grandpa Sword and Grandpa Bones are going to stick around forever? When you're in charge, where are you going to find people who'll be honest with you? Do you want to be alone for the rest of your life? That every word hit like a knife. Just imagining the future Tang Lan had described sent a shiver of fear down Ning Rongrong's spine. She didn't want that. She didn't want that future. But her pride wouldn't let her just admit she was wrong. She just sat there, not knowing what to do. The host made Ning Rongrong realize his mistake and gain his approval, and received the blessing of Qibao glazed sect's luck. Seize a moderate amount of Tang San's luck. Reward: proficiency in shoulder-fired long-barreled firearm weapons for individual soldiers. In other words, a rifle, more lethal than a submachine gun, with an effective range of 400 to 1,000 meters. You could even add a grenade launcher for rifle grenades, best of all, sniper rifles. The structure of a sniper rifle was pretty much the same as a regular rifle. The difference was, sniper rifles usually had scopes for precise aiming, the barrel was specially made for high accuracy at long range. The reward meant that Ning Rongrong had finally gotten it. Tang Lan turned and left. She needed some time to think. Ning Rongrong raised her hand, but didn't say anything to stop him. She just watched him walk away. Back at the training field, he nodded to Flanders and walked up to Xiao Wuji. You want to slack off now, huh, kid? Xiao Wuji teased. Then, he saw Tang Lan pull a smithing platform out of the Blue King domain. Then he summoned the Thunder Flame Clear Sky Hammer and started hammering iron right there in the gravity area. Xiao Wuji and Flanders were both speechless. They both knew how heavy that Thunder Flame Clear Sky Hammer was. With the gravity boost, it had to be over 10,000 pounds, right? And Tang Lan was just swinging it around. How strong was this kid? Tang San got motivated and zipped up to Flanders. Dean Flanders, I want to do what my brother's doing and forge instead of running. Flanders raised an eyebrow. Was Tang San's strength just as crazy as Tang Lan's? Yu Xiaojiang hadn't mentioned anything like that in his letter. But he nodded anyway. Tang San raced back to the dorm and came back with the forging platform on his shoulders. He set it down next to Xiao Wuji with some difficulty, but he didn't summon the Clear Sky Hammer. The Clear Sky Hammer used up too much soul power, and he couldn't keep it going for long, but even lifting a regular 200-pound smithing hammer was a struggle for Tang San. He had to take off his weights just to swing the chaotic cloak hammer technique halfway decently. *clang, star. *clang, star. Clang. The sound of hammering filled the air. Tang Lan's Thunder Flame Clear Sky Hammer had its own flame attribute. The metal got smelted as he hammered it, and the parts formed themselves piece by piece, incredibly efficient, and no need to worry about anyone stealing anything. Tang San didn't have the flame attribute, but he could still shape the metal using the chaotic cloak hammer technique. That would save him a lot of time later. But all Tang San was making were chunks of 1,000. Refined steel, and he was clearly guarding them. That was understandable. You could tell the difference between the two guys' work just by looking at it. Everyone had their own thoughts. The host is greatly recognized by Shrek and snatches a small amount of Tang San's luck. Reward: Soul Ring Life plus 100. The Thunder Flame Clear Sky Hammer in Tang Lan's hand swung a little faster. At the same time, he was thrilled with his decision to come to Shrek. Shrek didn't have much in the way of facilities, but that didn't matter to him and Xiao Wu. As long as Tang Lan kept his pure young body, his cultivation would naturally skyrocket. Xiao Wu was a soft-bone rabbit, and didn't need much to practice with. Especially when she had Tang Lan to work with at night, he was making a killing. They kept at it until Xiao Wuji's soul power finally gave out. Dai Mubai and the others were slumped on the ground, utterly spent. Oscar, the weakest, even passed out. Tang Lan, on the other hand, looked like he was just getting warmed up. Forging in a gravity field was tough, but it was also a great all-around workout. It worked every muscle and exercised the internal organs. These were all premium upgrades in the novel. Tang Lan wondered, if he hadn't taught Xiao Wuji the 9 young divine art, even the first 3 levels would be enough to speed up his soul power recovery. then he could last longer, but he wasn't just going to give those skills away for free. He wasn't that selfless, he'd have to figure out how to get the most out of it. "Alright," Flanders announced. "That's enough training for today. Teacher Xiao has dinner ready. Take a break, then let's go eat." He helped Xiao Wuji up and they walked off together. After a few minutes, Dai Mubai was the first to recover. He stared at Tang Lan, bewildered. "Xiao Lan, what are you, some kind of monster?" "Tell me about it," Tang San complained. "My hammer only weighs 200 pounds. His thunder flame clear sky hammer weighs 4,000 pounds, good grief." Ma Hongjun shot up, eyes wide. "So with Teacher Zhao's gravity boost, that's like 10,000 pounds, that everyone felt a wave of powerlessness wash over them, there was no comparing. It was just impossible, Xiao Wu was beaming. Zhu Zhuqing's eyes flickered, she was starting to see Tang Lan in a new light. Women were naturally drawn to strength, especially in Zhu Zhuqing's world, where it was survival of the fittest, not to mention that she and Tang Lan had a martial soul fusion skill. Dai Mubai walked over and held out a hand to Zhu Zhuqing. "Zhuqing, let me help you to the cafeteria." Chapter 34 Zhu Zhuqing's favor is attached with soul bones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "Zhuqing, let me walk you to the cafeteria." Zhu Zhuqing just gave Dai Mubai a look, suddenly thinking he was full of it. He bailed on his fiancée and ran from the Star Luo Empire to dodge his responsibilities, and now, here at Shrek, he's just boozing it up and living large, so why the sudden act of concern? "Ha, that," she scoffed. Zhu Zhuqing struggled to her feet and started for the cafeteria, wobbling a little. She didn't have a choice back then, but now that she has better prospects, she wants nothing to do with someone like Dai Mubai. Dai Mubai watched Zhu Zhuqing go, his face a mix of emotions, guilt, anger, confusion, the whole shebang. Oscar and Ma Hongjun exchanged glances. Clearly, there's a story there. But seeing Dai Mubai so down, they didn't dare say anything, they just helped each other along toward the cafeteria. Tang Lan came over to Xiao Wu and held out a hand. Xiao Wu happily grabbed it, hopped onto his back, and waved her little hands. "Giddy up." Tang Lan smiled at her, boosted her a little, and headed for the cafeteria. He paused by Tang San and glanced at him. Tang San shook his head firmly. He still had some pride and didn't need Tang Lan's help. Tang Lan just smirked, nodded, and hurried off. He quickly caught up to Zhu Zhuqing and was about to pass her. Then, Zhu Zhuqing tripped and fell. Talk about coincidence. Even though Zhu Zhuqing was falling away from him, Tang Lan quickly wrapped an arm around her shoulders. Thanks, Zhu Zhuqing mumbled. "I can manage." "Let go." Xiao Wu jumped off Tang Lan's back and helped support Zhu Zhuqing on the other side. "Hey, we're a team now. Let's go. Cafeteria grub, here we come." Zhu Zhuqing didn't argue. Tang Lan changed his hold to just a hand, and Zhu Zhuqing, either from exhaustion or something, didn't seem to notice. She didn't say anything until they were sitting down in the cafeteria. Which was telling. The host has gained Zhu Zhuqing's favor and yoinked Dai Mubai as her first choice, causing Tang San to lose the Netherworld White Tiger support. A tiny sliver of Tang San's luck has been purloined. Reward, 2,000-year-old soul bone, double eyes. Oh. The second most coveted soul bone that every soul master dreams about. Even if it's only 2,000 years old, the reason everyone goes nuts for external soul bones is because they grow. Just look at Tang San, the 8 spider lances, a soul bone he attached back in his 3-ring days, took him all the way to godhood and evolved into the sea god's 8 wings. That's how valuable an attached soul bone can be. He scarfed down his meal, made an excuse, and went back to the dorm. System, gimme the reward. A ball of light appeared, revealing a crystal-like eyeball pulsing with purple light. Not a pair, huh? Even better. He could add an external soul bone for his eyes. Without hesitation, he pressed the double pupil to his left eye, then he immediately activated the blue-silver domain and sent his consciousness out into every strand of blue-silver grass. He blocked most connections to his body. Fusing an attached soul bone isn't pretty. Even with that, Tang Lan felt like his left eyeball was swelling up, aching, and burning. Imagine facing that head-on. Yikes. Scary just thinking about it. after an hour or so, his left eyeball finally calmed down. Tang Lan pulled his consciousness back and blinked. The soul bone ability flooded his mind. Copy. It could copy a soul skill, store it in the double pupil, and unleash it on demand. Basically, it's an extra skill slot. And don't forget, attached soul bones grow. As the double pupil ages, the range of what it can copy will increase. Soul bone skills, self-created skills, even other people's skills. Heck, it could even copy a martial soul. 2-for-1 martial souls. Artificial twin martial souls. Tang Lan was stoked. He'd use the soul bone ability to copy, and bury the Blues Silver Emperor's third soul skill, life, in the double pupil. This skill was already crazy powerful, and before, you had to open up a martial soul and soul ring just to use it. Now it's instant. Even a titled Douluo is gonna get tied up. Tang Lan couldn't be happier. Knock knock knock. Someone was at the door. Come in. The dorm door opened, and Dai Mubai, with his blonde hair, stepped inside. Xiao Yan, am I interrupting? Nah, Tang Lan said, puzzled. What's up? Dai Mubai pursed his lips. He came because of what he'd seen earlier, but he couldn't bring himself to talk about his past. Too awkward. It was hard to spit it out. After a few seconds of silence, he changed course. I'm thinking of moving back in here. Could you help me build a dorm? Easy peasy. Tang Lan snapped his fingers, and a loud scraping started outside, followed by Oscar yelling, "What the?" All done, Tang Lan said. Anything else? Dai Mubai shook his head. He turned and left, closing the door. Tang Lan smirked. He couldn't even step up and fight for his fiancée. Serves him right for getting robbed. Good riddance. Otherwise, things would get weird when Dai Mubai tried to confess. Now, heh. Tang Lan fired up the Blue King, dumped out the parts of his afternoon project, and started assembling it. A heavy, devastating weapon slowly took shape. The gun was 57 inches long, with the barrel taking up half of it. It was an M107A1 semi-automatic anti-material sniper rifle. The legendary Barrett, also known as the Cannon. One of the world's most powerful sniper rifles. Effective range, 2,000 yards. Max range, 2,700 yards. The scope was the original M3 optical 10x super sight, which he couldn't reproduce. No sweat. Tang Lan had the blue-silver domain, so he could aim directly with his mind. Basically, auto-aim, plus, Tang Lan had whipped up a new batch of gunpowder, trying to get the Barrett firing on all cylinders. Special sniper armor-piercing rounds, almost 4 inches in diameter, about the width of Tang Lan's palm. When he was done, Xiao Wu snuck over, her eyes lighting up when she saw the awesome Barrett sniper rifle. The Uzi was only a little bigger than the Python revolver, but it was so much more powerful. This behemoth looked badass at first glance. Bro. Is this a toy for me too? Xiao Wu squealed, but Tang Lan bonked her on the head, not letting her get too close. He hasn't even used it yet. This thing is crazy powerful. It'll turn someone into red mist. I'll get you one after you've trained. Xiao Wu flinched back. Turn someone into pieces. She couldn't even do that with her wrestling moves. Could this soul guide really do it? She was instantly intrigued. She started pestering Tang Lan. Tang Lan melted. Okay. Tang Lan gave in. I'll take you out to test it tomorrow. If it's all good, I'll get you a new one. Yay! Xiao Wu cheered. Bro, you're the best. I want the pink one. Tang Lan smiled at her. Xiao Wu was his sunshine. He could never say no to her. The next morning, Xiao Wu practically dragged Tang Lan to the cafeteria. He was in no mood, but someone had already started clearing the tables. Tang Lan wasn't surprised to see Zhu Zhuqing, but... Ning Rongrong, what are you doing up so early? Tang Lan asked, surprised. Ning Rongrong bristled. What was that supposed to mean? Zhu Zhuqing was here too, so why wasn't he surprised? In the old days, she'd be tearing him a new one, but now, she just shook her head and walked away. He wasn't worth the trouble. Tang Lan was a little taken aback. What was with the change of heart? That's weird, Xiao Wu said. I was ready to defend you, bro, but she didn't even pop off. People can change, Tang Lan said. Eat up. Teacher Xiao. Lay off the meat. Less meat for me. Xiao Wu said quickly. This time they left without having to be rolled out. As they walked out of the cafeteria, Zhu Zhuqing, who was waiting, stepped in front of them. What do you want? Tang Lan asked. Your footwork was really something yesterday. Can you teach me? Zhu Zhuqing asked point blank. Did she fall for Lingbo Weibo? Makes sense, that kind of slippery footwork is catnip for agility-based fighters, but Tang Lan and Zhu Zhuqing are nothing to each other now. He's not giving it away for free. Lingbo Weibo is my own creation. What's it worth to you if I teach it? Tang Lan asked. Zhu Zhuqing fell silent. She ran away from the Star Luo Empire and came to Shrek alone. All she had was the clothes on her back, so, selling herself for a self-created skill? She couldn't. Never mind. Zhu Zhuqing muttered and turned to leave. Tang Lan didn't stop her. Xiao Wu's reaction was a little weird. Zhuqing's been asking a lot about you. I think she's got a crush. Bro, should I play matchmaker? Tang Lan gave her a look. Xiao Wu was doing her best to look sincere. But after 6 years of living together, did she really think he couldn't see through her? Okay, Tang Lan said. My love life's in your hands. Xiao Wu's jaw dropped. Figures. He likes the buxom ones. She bared her teeth and said, You're so annoying, that she whirled around, ponytail flying, and jogged away. Tang Lan didn't chase after her. If she didn't get it out there, he would just pretend he didn't know. He wasn't enabling this bad habit. To be honest, Xiao Wu was super cute, and he wanted to put a ring on it, but he wasn't gonna pass up a goddess like Zhu Zhuqing and Ning Rongrong. He'd think about that later. While the Douluo continent was mostly monogamous, the two empires had no laws against polygamy. You could have as many wives as you could wrangle. He sauntered toward the playground. Along the way, he ran into Dai Mubai, Oscar, and Tang San, who were heading to lunch. Ma Hongjun was lagging behind. As usual, Tang Lan didn't bat an eye. If the fatty didn't get his butt in gear, that's one less Shrek 7 devil. He arrived at the playground. Xiao Wu saw him and huffed, turning away. Still got her panties in a bunch. He went around the corner. Arriving in front of Zhu Zhuqing, as Ning Rongrong watched with curiosity. Was he handing out sweets? She got her own sweets yesterday, so it was only fair he gave some to someone else. Deal. Zhu Zhuqing gave him a cool look, wondering why he was here. I'll teach you Lingbo Weibo, Tang Lan said. I'm starting a sect, so you can join. Aside from Lingbo Weibo, I can also teach you the immortal seal and dragon capturing hand. Tang Lan came up with this last night. His skills and firearms were revolutionary for Douluo continent, but hiding them like Tang San would only diminish their utility, and giving them away for free? Asking for it, so, he'll start a sect. The sect concept in Douluo continent was a big deal. Once you're in a sect, you're in it for life, and in death, and sect techniques were guarded closely, like the Haotian Jiujue and Great Sumra Hammer. Even though Tang Lan was a prodigy, Tang Hao still wouldn't teach him. The Haotian sect had to give the green light, otherwise, that he could be labeled a traitor and hunted down. With that, Tang Lan could equip his sect with martial arts, firearms, and weapons, maximizing his profits while also minimizing the risk of leaks. A win-win. Are the immortal seal and dragon capturing hands your own soul skills? Zhu Zhuqing asked. Tang Lan nodded. The immortal seal can temporarily turn an attack's soul power into your own. It can reduce damage and heal you. As for the dragon capturing hand, Tang Lan glanced at Xiao Wu, who was eavesdropping. Pull the claw. Hold on. The golden dragon wrapped around her waist and dragged her back to Tang Lan, who caught her. It's like telekinesis, but it can also restrain the enemy, Tang Lan said. Zhu Zhuqing's eyes lit up. Tang Lan was a once-in-a-lifetime talent. And most importantly, I can actually learn these skills? Zhu Zhuqing asked. Tang Lan didn't answer. He stroked Xiao Wu's ear and said, Show your friend. Humph. You remember me now? Still sulking, Xiao Wu still used Lingbo Wei step, flashing around so fast she left afterimages. Then she snatched Zhu Zhuqing. The golden dragon was much smaller this time. It dragged Zhu Zhuqing a few steps before vanishing. Not as powerful, but still had a controlling effect. You really could learn it. Light bloomed in Zhu Zhuqing's eyes. As long as I'm not afraid of what's coming, I can join your sect. Oh. Tang Lan said. What's coming? Spill. Zhu Zhuqing told her story. I was born into the Zhu family of the Star Luo Empire. The family martial soul is the netherworld civet cat, and the Dai family of the Star Luo Empire's royal family has the white tiger. The martial soul fusion skill, netherworld white tiger, has existed for generations. Because of this, the Zhu and Dai families have been arranging marriages to strengthen the fusion skill. My betrothed is none other than Dai Mubai. Holy crap. That was a bombshell. Xiao Wu was so shocked she forgot to be mad. So, you came here for Boss Dai? Xiao Wu blurted. Zhu Zhuqing nodded and shook her head. I used to be, but not anymore. She looked straight at Tang Lan. Enough said, and that was when Xiao Wu stopped feeling bad. I thought you were a friend, but you're trying to steal my man. And right then, Ning Rongrong chimed in, just listen, 2 chapters and 8,000 words. Chapter 35 The Creation of Tang Sect. Generous Rewards. Barrett takes a shot. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Edited content. Ning Rongrong wondered aloud, why is Dai Mubai here? Zhu Zhuqing paused, hesitant. She wasn't one to gossip or talk behind people's backs, even if Dai Mubai's actions were less than honorable. I left on my own, Dai Mubai announced, turning towards the voice. They saw Dai Mubai, Tang San, and Oscar walking towards them. Dai Mubai looked guilty but maintained a calm demeanor. The Star Luo Empire's royal family lives by a brutal code. Since childhood, I've been forced to compete with my brother Davis for the throne, he explained. The loser faces death or imprisonment to prevent internal conflict and ensure the empire's stability. He glanced at Tang San, his tone unreadable. Davis has always been stronger than me, crushing me, leaving me no room to breathe. I realized I couldn't win, so I ran. I abandoned my fiancé and fled. A collective gasp went through the group. This was unexpected news. Tang San was speechless. Why are you looking at me when you tell this story? Zhu Zhuqing simply sneered, her silence speaking volumes. Dai Mubai continued, since then, my sister Zhu Zhuyan has become even more aggressive, even sending assassins after me. I had no choice but to escape here. His brief explanation was heavy with unspoken meaning. Everyone was silent, processing the information. Ning Rongrong shuddered. Thank goodness my father only had me. That's harsh. No wonder the Star Luo Empire is stronger than the Tiando Empire, Tang Lan mused. Then, turning to Zhu Zhuqing, he said, I understand your situation. It's no problem. From now on, you're a disciple of my Tang Sect, the third to join. The third, Zhu Zhuqing thought of Tang San and Xiao Wu and accepted it. She placed her right hand on her left shoulder and bowed to Tang Lan. Disciple Zhu Zhuqing greets the sect master. Tang Lan smiled, helped her up, and presented her with 2 python revolvers. This is your initiation gift. Zhu Zhuqing took the revolvers and holstered them at her lower back. Storage soul tools are rare. I'm not important enough to own them, Star. Hold on. Xiao Wu protested. Brother, you started a sect, why wasn't I the first to join? She was just teasing, but this felt like a loss. Relax, Tang Lan chuckled. Didn't I say Zhu Qing was the third? You're my second senior sister in the Tang Sect. Xiao Wu beamed. That's more like it. I knew you wouldn't forget me, brother. Clinging to Tang Lan's arm, her frustration vanished. Wait a minute. Tang San finally spoke up. Brother, what did you name the sect? Tang Sect, Tang Lan stated simply. My last name's Tang. Makes sense, right? Tang San opened his mouth, unsure how to respond. I can't tell him it was the name of my old sect, can I? Right. And, Tang Lan added, I'm making you the senior disciple. Tang San was stunned. What? He hadn't considered passing on the Tang Sect's secrets. He didn't mind being a disciple of this new Tang Sect, but wasn't this too coincidental? Yet, seeing Tang Lan's expectant gaze, he couldn't refuse. Tang Lan had been so generous with him. He gave me the Zhuyang magic, it conflicted with Shantian Kung, so I didn't practice it, ** he gave me the seal of immortality, ** I wasn't skilled enough, and Tang Lan had to clean up my mistakes, * he gave me Lingbo Weibu, ** but because of the ghost shadow fans, I didn't practice it, * he even gave me the dragon capturing hand *, but it collided with the crane capturing dragon. I didn't practice it, * he gave me the designs for the Python revolver and Uzi before I even asked, * how could he refuse such generosity from his brother? Okay. Thanks, brother, Tang San conceded. The host founded the Tang Sect and made Tang San the top disciple, giving up the creation of the Tang Sect in another world. Seize a moderate amount of Tang San's luck. Reward, Soul Guidance Device, Storage Chapter Mastery. Reward, Soul Guidance Device, Mastery of Blue-Silver Grass Signal Conversion. Jackpot, the methods for making soul tools have been lost on Douluo continent. This storage soul guide is exclusive. The Tang clan won't have to worry about money anymore. As for the Blue-Silver Grass Signal Conversion Soul Guide, Tang Lan was surprised. As the name implied, it could convert blue-silver grass signals into any required information, text, sound, images. It could also convert information into blue-silver grass signals for transmission. Isn't this a mobile tower? Plus, blue-silver grass is everywhere, so there's no need to build base stations. Once produced, it can be used directly. If this soul guide becomes popular, people will plant blue-silver grass everywhere for better reception. As the Emperor of Blue-Silver Grass, more blue-silver grass benefits me. This reward is fantastic. Tang Lan took out Barrett and showed it to Tang San. This is a new soul guide I developed. I call it the Barrett Sniper Rifle. It should be powerful. Xiao San, give it a try. It works like the Python revolver, aim and pull the trigger. Tang San took Barrett. Developing soul guides is as easy as drinking water for him, but Xiao Wu didn't like that. Brother. You're being unfair. Tang San gets to use it right away, but I have to train. Tang Lan glanced at her. This soul guide was inspired by Xia Sanzi's hidden weapons. And the Barrett's range is over 2,000 meters. Can you even see that far? The mistress has a special soul skill for that. Xiao Wu immediately turned to Tang San. Tang San, your brother shares all his self-created soul skills with you. When are you going to use yours? Tang San's face fell. Handing over the Tang Sect's secrets. His first reaction was to refuse, but then he hesitated. Xiao Wu. Tang Lan said, displeased. What are you doing? The third son's soul skills are for his cultivation. Drop it, Xiao Wu tried to argue. Tang Lan interrupted. He summoned the Lei Yan Haotian hammer. Little Sanzi, I'm going to throw the Lei Yan Haotian hammer, and you try to hit it with Barrett. Tang San nodded. His mood was complicated. The sect's secrets were important, but Tang Lan was also being so generous. Hadn't they noticed the looks on Zhu Zhuqing's and Dai Mubai's faces? Both brothers are geniuses. Only one is generous, while the other hides his abilities. What are you thinking about? Tang Lan ruffled Tang San's hair, smiling. We're brothers. Don't worry, and just test the soul guide seriously. I know, brother. Tang Lan picked up the Lei Yan Haotian hammer and threw it like a discus. Tang San activated his purple demon eyes, lining up the shot. He lifted the Barrett, aimed, and pulled the trigger. Boom. An afterimage flew from the barrel. Even the purple demon eyes couldn't track it. Dong! The muffled sound was thunderous. The 2,000-kilogram Lei Yan Haotian hammer changed trajectory and spun towards the ground, hitting Zhao Wuji and Flanders. Xiao Wuji confidently raised his hand, but the hammer dissipated as it approached. Tang Lan had withdrawn the martial spirit, *, you could have given me a heads up, star. It's lively, Xiao Wuji said, gritting his teeth. Full of energy so early in the morning. Hello, Teacher Xiao. Xiao Wu greeted. We're testing the new soul guide. Xiao Wuji and Flanders exchanged glances, intrigued. The Barrett's design looked familiar, like the Python revolver and Uzi, an offensive soul guide. Interesting. Let me test its power, Xiao Wuji said, patting his chest. I want to see what you've created, kid. He saw Ning Rongrong and the others with strange expressions. The shot had altered the trajectory of the 2,000-pound Lei Yen Haotian hammer. It had incredible power. Xiao Wuji might get hurt if he wasn't careful. What's wrong? Xiao Wuji asked, confused. Something on my face, that everyone looked at each other, Tang Lan spoke up. No, but Teacher Xiao, you should be careful. Please. It's just a soul guide. What's it going to do? I only underestimated the python. Once I coat myself with soul power, I'm immune. Tang Lan didn't say a word. You're an idiot, Tang Lan summoned a life soul blue silver emperor. Little Sanzi, take a shot. Tang San aimed at the life soul blue silver emperor and fired from a few meters away, boom. The sniper armor-piercing bullet struck the life soul blue silver emperor, creating a small crater. After a few seconds, the sniper armor-piercing bullet pierced the life soul blue silver emperor, leaving a bullet hole as thick as a finger. The edges were in the shape of a torn spider web. Xiao Wuji was silent. He knew the tenacity of the life soul blue silver emperor. It was impenetrable at the same level. An attacking soul skill, the third soul skill. The soul guide in Tang San's hand has the same power as a level 40 attack soul master's third soul skill. He would have had to cover it with a layer of soul protection. The body of the seven-ringed soul saint is also mortal. Great. Powerful King Kong Bear, engage. Xiao Wuji waved Tang San over. Bring it on. Let's see how powerful this little thing is. Tang San looked at Tang Lan. Back up, Tang Lan instructed. Barrett's range is 1,500 meters. And the maximum range is 6,800 meters. Wow, no one has heard of this attack range. Then I'm going. Tang San ran off, 1,000 meters away. He could only be seen as a black spot by those with weak eyes. Tang Lan could still see Tang San clearly. The blue-silver grass swayed, sending a message. Teacher Xiao, incoming. Tang Lan warned. Long time coming, Xiao Wuji replied confidently. It's only 1,000 meters away. A ball of fire exploded on Xiao Wuji's shoulder. A sniper armor-piercing bullet spun wildly, trying to break through the spirit possession. It flattened into an iron piece and embedded itself in the possession. Xiao Wuji staggered back, shoulder tilted, boom. The sound of the gunshot followed. Xiao Wuji removed the shrapnel, brow twitching. If he hadn't been possessed by the martial spirit, the bullet would have hit. Even if it didn't blow his shoulder off, it could have hit it. If it's aimed at a vital point, the bullet will pass through the bone gap. Damn! If I only used my soul power to defend myself, I might not be able to. Xiao Wuji said. Everyone stared at Tang Lan. Xiao Wuji is the seventh-ringed soul saint, Fudo Mingu, known for his defense. His martial soul is powerful Vajra Bear. Can this soul guide threaten a seventh-ringed soul saint? Can a contra do anything? Tang Lan asked. Xiao Wuji shook his head. After being promoted to soul Douluo, the body will be tempered again. A level 81 contra can't break through my physical defense without soul power. If you want to break through soul Douluo defense, it has to be with soul power and material. Have Tang San spend time studying this. Too bad, Tang Lan said regretfully. It still has a lot of room for improvement. It has a chance of killing the seven-ringed soul saint. What more do you want? Flanders asked. Tang Lan chuckled. It was a bit too demanding. After all, it's just a sniper rifle, and there are missiles, nuclear bombs, and hydrogen bombs ahead. The blue-silver grass swayed again. Tang San retreated 2,000 meters and asked to fire again. Teacher Zhao, careful, it's coming again. Bring it. Tang Lan sent the message. On Xiao Wuji's other shoulder, a sniper armor-piercing bullet was spinning. Boom. The gunfire was clear. The power dropped, Xiao Wuji commented. But it's just physical defense, it's impossible to defend against. Tang Lan nodded and let Tang San retreat through the blue-silver grass. At 3,000 meters, the power dropped slightly again. He still broke through Xiao Wuji's physical defense. When the distance reached 4,000 meters, the power wasn't enough to penetrate Xiao Wuji's body. But when Tang San came back, his first word stunned Xiao Wuji. Teacher Zhao, if the power is reduced by half, what about the eyes? Can you prevent it? Xiao Wuji glared. Are you even listening to yourself? Everyone saw him 4,000 meters away. What about the eyes? Tang Lan looked at his monster. As the younger brother, maybe Tang San can really do it? He answered. Chapter 36 Zhu Zhuqing's Explosive Data. Misled Tang San into going astray. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After considering it carefully, Xiao Wuji replied, even if its power is cut in half, I wouldn't be able to defend against that. Eyes are a fatal weakness, even for a titled Douluo, unless their eyes are their martial soul. Tang San's eyes gleamed. Perfect. His purple demon eyes really could see that far. Tang Lan, surprised, realized he'd been thinking too narrowly. Who needs to think about weaknesses when you've got Barrett? Just point and shoot. Doesn't matter where you hit M, it'll blow M to smithereens. Tang Lan pulled out some bills and quickly sketched the M3 optical 10x superscope. Then, he handed Tang San Barrett's blueprints. Seeing Xiao Ao's telescope gave me the idea to modify a scope that can magnify objects about 10 times. Pretty slick, huh? It lets you snipe targets from over 4 miles away. If you can train to hit someone's eyes from that distance, kiddo, you'll be a titled Douluo for sure. Wow, Tang San said. Sniper Douluo. The thought of a sniper Douluo seemed like something out of a comic book. But when they considered it, was it actually possible? Their worldviews started to crack. If a soul guide could make someone a titled Douluo, what was the point of all their hard work? Flanders, as the dean, immediately sensed the shift in attitude. What are you all thinking? He snapped. Soul guides are just tools. Barrett is only good for sneak attacks. In a real fight, it might not even break a 4-ring soul sect's defense. Besides, is hitting a person in the eye from 4 miles away easier than honing your own skills? Flanders' words snapped them back to reality. Dai Mubai and the others suddenly understood. But looking at Tang Lan, they still couldn't help but be impressed. He learns so fast, he's so talented, and even the soul guides he makes are insane. We're supposed to be geniuses, but why do we feel like we're just here to fill space? Ma Hongjun, arriving late as usual, broke the tense atmosphere. Huh? Did I miss something? He asked, oblivious. Flanders went ballistic. Look at them, how amazing they are. Now look at you, barely managing to roll out of bed. Ma Hongjun. Starting today, you're carrying 500 pounds of weight. You can't take it off, even when you're sleeping. Oh no, Dean. Ma Hongjun cried. 600 pounds. Flanders roared. Ma Hongjun clammed up, a miserable expression on his face. He might have been late, but he wasn't that late. Punished for being on time. But Flanders was his master, and there was no arguing. Get started with your morning training, Flanders barked. Tang San, Xiao Lan, get everyone fitted with weights. You two work out the exact weight for each person. Tang Lan and Tang San nodded. Instantly, everyone except Ning Rongrong swarmed around Tang Lan. "Bro Lan, hook me up with a 200-pound set," Oscar said sheepishly. "I want 1,000 pounds. Dai Mubai declared confidently. "Bro Lan, please, just give me my 600 pounds, Ma Hongjun whined. "Sect leader, I also want 1,000 pounds, Zhu Zhuqing said firmly. Tang Lan's eye twitched. "Tang San, you're not even gonna try." He wasn't about to compete with Tang San for all that work. "Zhu Zhuqing, stick around, and I'll teach you Lingbo Weibo. Mubai, you guys go find Tang San." Blatant favoritism. But even Dai Mubai couldn't complain. Zhu Zhuqing was now the Tang Sect's third disciple. "Guess I'll go find Tang San." Seeing Tang San's sour expression, Dai Mubai felt a little awkward. Tang Lan didn't care. He grabbed a measuring tape, handed it to Xiao Wu, and told her to measure Zhu Zhuqing's size. "I'd love to do it myself, but gotta keep up appearances." He then got out his forge and prepared to start hammering iron. Ning Rongrong stepped forward. "Brother Tang Lan, can you make weights for me too?" Tang Lan gave her a teasing look. "Don't you hate me?" Ning Rongrong smiled sweetly. "Brother Lan, you're rich, so you won't hold a little grudge against a girl like me, right? Besides, can I join your Tang Sect? I really want to learn those original soul skills." Tang Lan finally gave Ning Rongrong his full attention, wondering what she was up to. The sect isn't some revolving door. You need the sect's permission to join, and you need its permission to leave. Otherwise, it's desertion. Even if she could hide in the Seven Treasures glazed sect for the rest of her life, her reputation would be ruined. Why would you, the little princess of the Seven Treasures glazed sect, want to join my pauper Tang Sect? Tang Lan asked cautiously. Ning Rongrong pouted. "Between your talent, your original soul skills, and your soul guides, it's not like you're poor. And as for money, I can call my dad and get him to lend the sect some. Bro Lan, just use that soul guide of yours and make it happen." "So, what do you say? Is this for real?" "Startup capital would be huge for Tang Sect. You need to think this through," Tang Lan warned again. "Once you join the Tang Sect, it'll be hard to leave and become the master of your Seven Treasures glazed sect down the road." "Let's just play it by ear," Ning Rongrong said casually. "If it doesn't work out, my dad can just find another heir." She was serious about joining the Tang Sect. Or rather, following Tang Lan. It would be stupid to pass up an opportunity like this, so Tang Lan simply agreed. "Okay, you're in." Ning Rongrong didn't hesitate. She put her right hand on her shoulder and bowed to Tang Lan as a disciple. "Excellent. From now on, you are my fourth disciple of the Tang Sect. I'll give you this Uzi as a joining gift." Ning Rongrong accepted the Uzi, entranced. But this time, she'd learned her lesson and reached out to Tang Lan again. "Master, sect leader, should I get some extra bullets?" Tang Lan spread his hands. "I haven't made many bullets. If you want more, go talk to your father. Maybe we can sell these soul guides to your Seven Treasures glazed sect in bulk." Ning Rongrong's eyes lit up. "Perfect. I'll go deliver the message right now." She grabbed her skirt and took off. But after running a short distance, she stopped and called out, "Dean, I'm gonna get my dad to inject funds into your academy. Be back soon." Yesterday it was just Flanders, but today she added the honorific. "Injects money, you say?" Flanders nodded happily. "Go ahead, I'll give you the morning off. With money, things would be so much easier." "Thanks, Dean." Ning Rongrong dashed off again. Meanwhile, Xiao Wu had taken Zhu Zhuqing's measurements and handed them to Tang Lan. He glanced at the data. 80D, 54, 7. Those don't seem like the body standards of an 11-year-old girl, star. Humph. You like that, don't you? Xiao Wu said through gritted teeth. "I'll catch up." "What was that last part?" Tang Lan asked, smirking. "Didn't quite hear you." Xiao Wu wasn't about to say it louder. She glared at Tang Lan and went to get Barrett. Tang Lan shrugged. He took out a few metal ingots of different colors from the Blue King, stacked them together, and started hammering. Tang Lan's 9-yang divine art operated on autopilot. He'd studied plenty of alloy formulas in his spare time. The alloy he was hammering now had good ductility and flexibility, was small in size, and was highly dense. Perfect for weights, because he was using ready-made ingots, and with some quick cloak hammering techniques, the wrist guards, shoes, belt and vest were quickly finished. When Zhu Zhuqing put them on, her speed noticeably decreased. "Teacher Zhao, ease up on the gravity," Tang Lan called out. "She needs some speed to train her footwork." Xiao Wuji cooperated, reducing his soul power and walking over to Flanders. "You're just letting this kid poach students into his Tang Sect." "There's no conflict between the academy and the sect," Flanders said dismissively. "We never interfere with students' choices." "Xiao Jiu is an elder of the Spirit Hall now, right?" Xiao Wuji's expression darkened. That kid was talented, but too opportunistic. He joined the Spirit Hall for fame and fortune. He might have recommended Shrek, but I still don't like him, Star. Forget about that ingrate. I don't consider him a student, Xiao Wuji said. So, are we teachers free to choose sects too? Flanders, who had been watching Tang Lan teach Lingbo Weibo, took off his glasses and stared at Xiao Wuji. You want to join Xiao Lan's Tang Sect too? Don't act surprised, Xiao Wuji retorted. The spirit sealing soul weakening and soul power converting effects can increase my defense by over 30%. A 30% boost for a 7th ring soul saint was more valuable than a soul bone. Flanders was silent. He was also envious of Lingbo Weibo and Tang Lan's searing soul power. Different from the lightning attribute of the thunder flame clear sky hammer, the sun is pure like the scorching sun. Probably an advanced soul power path. He glanced at Ma Hongjun, a worry forming in his mind. Could Ma Hongjun follow that path and suppress the evil fire in his body on his own? Tang Lan had no idea that the dean was also eyeing him. He was pressing Zhu Zhuqing from behind, guiding her to follow the hexagram directions based on the 64 hexagrams of the Book of Changes. From the first step to the last, it formed a complete circle around Xiao Wuji. Simultaneously, he used his hot 9-yang divine art internal energy to guide the soul power in Zhu Zhuqing's body, making it flow according to Lingbo Weibo's unique internal force. He explained in her ear, Lingbo Weibo cultivates internal strength through the exercise. Walking the 64 hexagrams completes one cycle, and the soul power moves along with it. The soul power is refined into internal force. From now on, every step will improve your footwork and internal force. With the added weight and gravity, you'll be training your body, soul power, and body skills at the same time. The more Zhu Zhuqing listened, the more fascinated she became. Such a convenient way to train. 3 birds with 1 stone. Unheard of, especially the compressed internal power, though not as scorching as Tang Lan's, was far superior in quality to soul power. It was perfect for Lingbo Weibo, making her steps faster and more energetic. This is fun cultivation. Absolutely no pain or suffering. At that moment, Zhu Zhuqing's evaluation of Tang Lan was higher than every other male she knew. Daimubai. That coward isn't even worthy of carrying Tang Lan's shoes. Seeing Zhu Zhuqing's progress, Tang Lan was surprised. Lingbo Weibo was the best of his techniques, but it had a threshold. When Xiao Wu first learned it, it took her a long time to master the basics. After practicing with Tang Lan for another 2 days, she was able to move on her own. Zhu Zhuqing had a real talent for picking it up so quickly. After a while, Ning Rongrong trotted back, sweat dripping down her face. It's done. It's done. They'll be here in a few days, if nothing goes wrong. Super efficient. Tang Lan took Ning Rongrong's hand, causing her to freeze. What's this sect leader up to? But then, the hot internal energy of the 9-yang divine art entered her body. Her rapid breathing quickly calmed down. The sweat on her body evaporated. Tang Lan positioned himself behind Ning Rongrong. Concentrate your mind, clear your thoughts. I'll teach you Lingbo Weibo now. As an auxiliary soul master, you need this kind of escape technique even more than Zhu Zhuqing. Ning Rongrong was shocked. She calmed herself and focused on learning. The more she learned, the more amazed she became. The 7 treasures glazed sect also had ways to train soul power. She knew all of them, from Ning Fengzhi to Gu Rong to Chen Xian. But none of them were as magical as Lingbo Weibo. Using physical exercise to cultivate internal strength. It blew her mind. Internal strength, external strength, and body skills training all at the same time. Who would even think of that? No wonder Tang Lan is only 12 years old, and his body, soul power, and body skills are so monstrous. But it wasn't too late for Ning Rongrong to learn. Although Ning Rongrong wasn't as fast as Zhu Zhuqing, she had memorized everything in one morning. She could follow Zhu Zhuqing's movements and practice. Tang Lan was now free. He called over Tang San and started to share ideas. Barrett's single-target attacks are powerful, but demand a lot from the user. I was thinking of combining it with Uzi to create a battlefield harvester. Combining that with your concealed weapon mechanics, can you create a weapon that can automatically load, launch multiple tubes, and destroy a large area? Tang Lan had a clear goal, guiding Tang San to build a Vulcan cannon. The technology was readily available: Barrett's power, Uzi's rapid fire, and the concealed weapon reloading. Tang San thought about it, and his eyes lit up. Just thinking about it, he knew it would be a killing machine. No problem, leave it to me. Tang San said confidently. Before Sect Master Ning arrives, I'll have it ready. Tang Lan nodded in satisfaction. Tang San had finally fallen into the trap. If he spent more time on research and development, his cultivation would naturally fall behind. Perfect. Right, Tang Lan said, piling it on. The design of the firearm soul guide is simple, making it easy to copy. Little Sanzi, you should work on the self-destruct mechanism of your hidden weapon. Tang San smiled. He took a python revolver from his arms and handed it to Tang Lan. I already thought of that. I added a self-destruct device to this python revolver, installed in the solid interior of the barrel and drum. If someone tries to disassemble it, the core will self-destruct. Tang Lan took the python revolver and casually opened it. Click. Fizz, with the harsh sound of metal grinding, the entire gun fell apart. Tang Lan raised his eyebrows. That was a bit too easy for Tang San. Then, it was time to turn up the difficulty. The structure of the firearm soul guide is simple, especially the python revolver. Even without taking it apart, people can copy it by spending some time and experimenting. A self-destruct device doesn't do much. I think you should work on the bullets. It's okay if adding a self-destruct device to the bullet weakens it a little. Protecting the gunpowder formula is key. That way, even if firearms and soul guides flood the continent, without our bullets, it will be just a fire stick. Tang San was stunned. The bullets. Such a small thing. It has to be easy to manufacture, Tang Lan added. After all, bullets are expensive. If they're too hard to make, it won't be worth it. Tang San fell into thought. That's tricky. Chapter 37: The Evolution of the External Soul Bone. Xiao Wu was exposed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing Tang San lost in thought, Tang Lan chuckled. Figuring it out, huh? Take your time. After checking on Zhu Zhuqing and Ning Rongrong, who were making steady progress, Tang Lan walked over to Flanders. Dean, I'm heading into town to pick up some supplies. Go ahead, Flanders replied cheerfully. When you get a chance, stop by. I need to discuss something with you. Got it. Tang Lan headed straight for Soto City and bought a bunch of rare metals, gemstones, carving knives, and other materials, everything he needed to make soul guides. Originally, he figured he'd start small, maybe just whip up a blue-silver grass signal converter. The real challenge was the storage soul guide. It needed void crystals, special gems that could be etched with spatial arrays. Turns out, on the Douluo continent, soul guide tech was a lost art, so those precious void crystals were just being sold as sapphires in jewelry stores. They were still pricey, hundreds of gold soul coins for even the smallest ones, but that was nothing compared to the convenience of having a storage soul guide. As for the cost, Tang Lan wasn't sweating it. The Tang Sect's main product was firearms, and he was the only one who could make the storage guides. He didn't have time to waste. He checked into the Rose Hotel, slipped the bellhop a gold soul coin, and had him run over to Shrek with a message. He wouldn't be back for a couple of days. He planned on preparing a ton of surprises for Ning Fengzhi. 3 days flew by. Early in the morning, Tang Lan returned to the dorm, covered in dust. He took a quick shower, opened the door, and found Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing waiting for him. "Big brother," Xiao Wu launched herself at him, wrapping her legs around his waist. "I missed you so much." Tang Lan ruffled her rabbit ears and looked at Zhu Zhuqing. "How's that Lingbo Weibu coming along in combat?" Zhu Zhuqing nodded. "And Rongrong's progress?" Tang Lan asked. Before Zhu Zhuqing could answer, Ning Rongrong chimed in, definitely slower than Zhuqing. "I am an support soul master, after all." Tang Lan nodded understandingly. "This time with Ning Fengzhi, if the deal goes well, Rongrong can pick another technique to learn." He didn't mention Zhu Zhuqing. The sect wasn't a school where you could learn whatever you wanted. You needed to earn it. "Really?" Ning Rongrong said excitedly. "Then your soul power's gonna be boiling." "Not for you," Tang Lan said, shaking his head. "What? I get to choose, remember?" Ning Rongrong's face fell. Tang Lan just smiled. No way was he letting her near the 9 yang magic. He patted Xiao Wu's waist, signaling her to explain to Ning Rongrong, then headed toward Tang San's room. He could hear hammering coming from inside. Looks like they were still busy. "Hey, little Sanzi, got something to talk about. Can I come in?" The room went silent for a few seconds. The host asked Tang San to forge it infatuatedly, and the cultivation progress was slowed down. Seize a tiny amount of Tang San's luck. Reward, externally attached soul bone, double eyes years plus 100. Nice. Seems like Tang San had been working on those assignments he'd given him. "Come on in, big brother." Tang Lan opened the door and took a quick look around. A workbench in the corner was covered with a cloth, but he could make out the outline of a hidden weapon being assembled. He knew what he was doing with his time. Tang San looked a little flustered and quickly changed the subject. "Big brother, I figured out how to keep the bullets from getting copied." He picked up a bullet and held it out. "I used a mortise antenna joint to lock everything in place. It's guaranteed to fire smoothly with the primer and propellant powder. But if anyone tries to take it apart, the charge will blow. So even if they get the casings, they won't get the gunpowder formula." "Oh. Tang San actually cracked it. What about the manufacturing process? Difficult?" Tang Lan asked. "Even simpler," Tang San said proudly. "I went with mold suppression. The bullets are pressed out in one piece. As long as the assembly side doesn't leak, we're good." This Tang San was born to be a technical director. As for training, he'd handle it. "How about the Vulcan cannon and machine gun? Developed those yet?" Tang Lan asked. "Absolutely." Tang San looked excited and ran over to the workbench, sliding a 6-barreled machine gun across to him. "Big brother. This thing is insane. Not as powerful as Heavy Rain, but against mid to low-level soul masters. Total carnage." It was nice having Tang San as his subordinate. Tang Lan didn't pick up the machine gun. Instead, he went to a box filled with 12.7mm machine gun ammunition, connected by a bullet chain, specially made for the Vulcan cannon. Even with the chain, it looked bulky. Tang Lan waved his hand. and a magazine appeared and attached itself to the bullet chain. The entire chain vanished. Then, he went to the machine gun, snapped the magazine into place, and the bullet chain popped out, feeding directly into the weapon. No more lugging around heavy ammo boxes. Big brother, is that a storage soul guide? For bullets? Tang San asked in amazement. That's what you've been working on, that what a waste. Didn't Tang Lan know how valuable those were? Yup. I call it a storage magazine. Tang Lan tossed a ring to Tang San. Gotta give the horse some oats if you want it to run. This storage ring used the smallest void crystal, only 1 cubic meter of space, but Tang San still lit up like a Christmas tree. He'd been drooling over storage soul guides for ages. How cool would it be to have one for his hidden weapons? Finally. Then, reality dawned. Big brother. You cracked storage soul guides. You can make them yourself. Tang Lan smiled and nodded. Before he could say anything, Ning Rongrong shouted from outside, Sect Master, Mistress. My dad's here, and Grandpa Jian too, huh? This morning. Must have arrived last night. Little Sanzi, let's go. Tang Lan said with a grin. Time to give sect leader Ning a little surprise. Tang San nodded eagerly. The inspiration for this soul firearm guide came from hidden weapons. A great honor. Outside, Ning Rongrong ran over, grinning. Sect Master, my Grandpa Jian's martial spirit, the 7 killing sword master's attack, complements Zhigang Zhiyang's 9 yang divine art. We need a titled Douluo to watch over the sect. We can win over Grandpa Jian and make him an honorary elder. Tang Lan blinked. Was she trying to poach people? And, Ning Rongrong added, Grandpa Bones and Grandpa Jian have always been rivals. If Grandpa Jian joins, you can go to Grandpa Bones with the immortal seal, and he'll definitely become an honorary elder too. Okay. How would Ning Fengzhi feel if he knew his little darling was so loose-lipped? Don't worry about it, Tang Lan said. Titled Douluo are a dime a dozen. We can get there ourselves. Ning Rongrong's face fell. With Tang Lan's talent, there was no doubt he'd become a titled Douluo. It was just a matter of time. But she was stuck at level 79, Tang Lan saw her disappointment but didn't say anything. He went over to Xiao Wu, who looked terrified, and took her hand. Let's go. I'll go with you. Xiao Wu didn't move. She looked at Tang Lan with hesitation, panic, and fear in her eyes. Titled Douluo could see through her soul beast transformation. He wouldn't even have to look closely. The second she stepped into Shrek, he'd know her secret. If she went now, she'd be walking right into a trap. Trust me, Tang Lan said gently. Nothing's going to happen as long as I'm here. Xiao Wu's anxiety slowly subsided. She grabbed his hand and followed. As long as her brother was there, she felt safe. Tang Lan wasn't just saying that. Everyone wanted something. He knew how to make Sword Douluo Qinshin keep his mouth shut. That's why he hadn't told Xiao Wu to hide out. Behind them, Tang San and Ning Rongrong looked a little surprised but didn't ask questions. Zhu Zhuqing just stared at Tang Lan and Xiao Wu's hands. Weren't they siblings? Why were they so close? Rongrong, Tang Lan said suddenly, I'm going to need your help later. Ning Fengzhi was an important guest, so they were meeting in the dean's office. He could hear Flanders' hearty laugh. Ha ha ha. I can't thank sect leader Ning enough for his generosity. Now we can train these students in peace, a soft voice chuckled. I should be thanking Dean Flanders for teaching Rongrong so well. I was amazed at how polite she was today. Oh, it's nothing, Flanders said modestly. If it weren't for your letter, Sect Master Ning, I wouldn't have dared to take such liberties. You had the foresight. Tang Lan and the others glanced at Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong rolled her eyes and coughed loudly. The conversation inside stopped. That was her cue. She knocked on the door. Come in, Flanders called. Ning Rongrong opened the door, and Tang Lan and the others followed. Then, she went straight to an elegant man and stood behind him, wordlessly expressing her discontent, Ning Fengzhi's calm composure vanished. He looked worried. Tang Lan ignored the father-daughter drama. He stepped in front of Xiao Wu, and his eyes met Chen Xian's, who was dressed in a snow-white robe. "I'm Tang Lan. It's an honor to meet Sword Douluo Xiao." Tang Lan said politely. Chen Xian finally looked away and assessed Tang Lan. He nodded slightly. Level 45 at 12 years old. He's worthy of being his son. He glanced at Tang San and looked away, making no comment. He stood behind Ning Fengzhi with his hands folded, fading into the background. Tang Lan didn't try to engage him. He looked at Ning Rongrong, who was still glaring at Ning Fengzhi with tears in her eyes. "Okay, Rongrong, we're here to talk business. Don't tease sect leader Ning." Ning Rongrong immediately wiped her eyes and stuck her tongue out at Ning Fengzhi. "The deal's on, and you're not allowed to sell me off next time." Ning Fengzhi sighed in relief. If it had been the old Rongrong, she'd have thrown a tantrum for days. But Tang Lan had defused the situation with a few words. Shrek was the right choice. He glanced at Tang Lan and nodded repeatedly. He was handsome, talented, and ambitious. Even though he founded his own sect, he could still merge into the Qibao glazed sect, if only. Tang Xiaoyu is young and promising. "Thank you for taking care of Rongrong," Ning Fengzhi said. "Zone Master Ning, you're welcome," Tang Lan said, stepping aside. "Shall we get down to business and test the firearms soul guide? That everything else was just fluff. Let's see the goods." Ning Fengzhi was surprised by his directness. He stood up. "Then I'll leave it to sect leader Tang." The title had changed. There was less familiarity. Tang Lan was no longer a junior, there was more respect, a discussion between equals. Tang Lan smiled knowingly. It was so easy to talk to smart people. He and Ning Fengzhi walked side by side toward the training grounds. "Please forgive any accidents during the test," Tang Lan said. "To show our sincerity, our fourth disciple, Ning Rongrong, will demonstrate our Tang Sect's firearms soul guides." Ning Rongrong stepped forward and waved at Ning Fengzhi. Surprised. Shocked, star, but Ning Fengzhi had already been warned, most likely by Flanders. He said gently, "Uncle Jian, I'm sorry to trouble you. Let me, this old bone, play with the girl," Chen Xian said with a smile. He walked up to Ning Rongrong without any guard up. "Girl, just fire away. Grandpa will defend himself." Good grief. Chen Xian was so nonchalant that he actually blinked and tried to look cute. It was an unexpected side of him. Tang Lan, who knew what was coming, couldn't help but chuckle. It was clear that Chen Xian really loved Ning Rongrong. At the same time, Tang Lan glanced at Tang San, who nodded, stepped back, and left the scene. Ning Fengzhi noticed but didn't care. In the training grounds, the storage ring on Ning Rongrong's finger lit up, and the muzzle of a python revolver aimed at Chen Xian. Bang! An armor-piercing bullet landed in Chen Xian's hand. Not bad. It's about as powerful as a first soul skill for attacking martial souls, Chen Xian commented. He nonchalantly caught the remaining 5 armor-piercing bullets with his bare hands, without even using his soul power. Then Ning Rongrong pulled out 2 Uzis and fired 100 rounds of armor-piercing bullets in 2 seconds. Chen Xian was caught off guard. He could only use his soul power to unleash sword energy and form a barrier. Good. It's got the power of a second soul skill. If a soul master below level 30 isn't careful, they'll die on the spot. More than half of the soul masters on the continent were stuck around level 30. Uzis alone were enough for the Qibao glazed sect to take seriously. Without pause, Ning Rongrong pulled out a Barrett, aimed it at Chen Xian, and pulled the trigger. Boom! Chen Xian channeled energy into his sword, intending to split the sniper bullet, but the sniper bullet spun for a moment and bounced away due to its own material. Crack. A branch 100 meters away snapped. The sword in Chen Xian's hand trembled, struggling to calm down. "That's incredible," Chen Xian said in amazement. "It's actually as strong as a 4th soul skill. A non-defense soul master below level 40 can't use defensive souls." Asterisk boom, star dot asterisk boom, star dot asterisk boom, asterisk. Chapter 38 The Key to Unification. Ning Fengzhi wants to take advantage of others. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Another boom cut through Chen Xian's assessment, that's the Barrett M107A1, capable of continuous fire. Ning Rongrong kept pulling the trigger, but Chen Xian's sword deflected every shot with effortless ease, but everything changed when Ning Rongrong brought out the Vulcan cannon. Each trigger pull unleashed a tongue of fire stretching out nearly 2 feet. Chen Xian's composure vanished. It fired at a rate of 6,000 rounds per minute, a staggering 100 rounds per second. Despite the afterimage his sword created, Chen Xian couldn't stop every bullet. In half a second, the metal storm of 12.7 mm rounds tore through his protective soul power and slammed into his left side. Second soul skill, Spirit Sword Guard. Powerful sword energy condensed, forming a protective shield with a 6-foot diameter around Chen Xian. Da-da-da-da. Ding 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 ding. The Vulcan cannon roared, spent casings piling up in a small mountain. For a solid 3 minutes, 18,000 rounds of ammo poured out. Finally, the storage magazine ran dry. Ning Rongrong, still holding the Vulcan cannon, stared in shock. That kind of firepower, wasn't it overkill? Even a title Douluo's body-protecting soul power was instantly shattered, forcing him to use a soul skill, and it pinned him down. Sure, Chen Xian had promised to only defend, not retaliate, but he was a title Douluo. A soul saint with 7 rings wouldn't stand a chance. Even a 6-ring soul emperor would be pinned behind a shield, a 5-ring soul king. Just wait to die. Alright. Chen Xian gave sincere praise. The power of this soul tool is on par with a 3rd soul skill in a single shot, but its sustained output is on another level. An ordinary 5-ring soul king would be dead or seriously wounded. Even a 6th-ring soul emperor without defensive soul skills would have to retreat. If all Qibao Glaze Tile School disciples were equipped with these, they'd be safe and sound. High praise indeed. Tang Lan silently raised the supply price. He'd be a fool not to capitalize on this, but the real kicker was coming. Sword Douluo, Tang Lan said, drawing attention, there's one more thing I need your help with. At the same time, he sent a message through the blue-silver grass beneath his feet. Instantly, Chen Xian's eyes narrowed. Before he could react, an explosion erupted on his shoulder, forcing him back a step. Just as he prepared to counter, another shot, an armor-piercing sniper bullet, hit the same spot, shattering his protective soul power and tearing his clothes, revealing skin as white as his hair. How dare you! Chen Xian finally summoned his martial soul, the 7-kill sword, and deflected a 3rd incoming attack. The sword, hovering in Chen Xian's hand, pointed into the distance. The 4th gem on the sword lit up, becoming a soul ring. 4th soul skill, kill. Hold your fire. Tang Lan shouted. It's a test. It's just a test. Chen Xian's killing intent wavered. He looked at Tang Lan, confused. What was going on? Sword Douluo, you have to understand. Tang Lan held up a Barrett and explained, this Barrett has a maximum range of 6,800 meters. It can kill invisibly from beyond an enemy's sight. And with San's precision, he can target your eyes. So please, don't get me wrong. I warned you there might be accidents during the test. Chen Xian recalled the earlier shots. Both had hit his left shoulder and shattered his soul power. If they'd struck his eyes, Chen Xian realized, with horror, that he would have at least lost an eye. Or worse, been killed. He stared at the Barrett in Tang Lan's hand. How could such a thing be possible? Tang Lan seized the opportunity, picking up the Vulcan cannon. Imagine Vulcan cannons and machine guns on the battlefield. Enemy soldiers would be mowed down like grass. Dozens firing simultaneously could unleash thousands of 3rd soul skills every second, even against high-level soul masters. How long could you last, even as a title Douluo? And all this can be bought with just 100 million gold coins. Anyone, even a civilian, can operate them. Do you understand the value now? Listening to Tang Lan's description and picturing the scene, Chen Xian's face turned grim. he'd underestimated these soul tools. And Tang San too. Just like his father. Chen Xian sighed, with this level of talent, he will definitely be better than others. The host is recognized by Chen Xian and snatches a small amount of Tang San's luck. Reward, Lei Yen Haotian Hammer plus 500 Gene. Tang Lan smiled. That was an unexpected bonus. Chen Xian dismissed his 7-kill sword and honestly reported to Ning Fengzhi. If the attack hadn't been on my shoulder, I would have been seriously injured today, or even killed. Hiss. 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 Everyone present gasped. They'd thought Tang Lan's sniper Douluo comment was a joke. Who knew it could actually happen? Especially after seeing Tang San apologize to Chen Xian with a Barrett, they all decided to get on Tang San's good side. Tang San had faded into the background under Tang Lan's brilliance, but now, even Sword Douluo couldn't defend against a 6,800-meter sniper attack. How could they? But still, these soul tools were invented by Tang Lan, so the strongest one is him as the older brother. Tang San just got the benefit of the doubt. After a moment of silence, Ning Rongrong was the first to react. She rushed to Chen Xian and hugged him, her heart was still racing. Grandpa Jian, you scared me to death. The sect leader actually used me as bait, and his final move was you? That's too much. Chen Xian patted Ning Rongrong's hair, pleased. All's fair in love and war. If it wasn't for sect leader Tang's planning, I wouldn't have realized the value of these weapons. He looked at Ning Fengzhi. Ning Fengzhi understood and said to Tang Lan, based on Rongrong's equipment, 100,000 gold coins per set sounds right. I want 500 sets. Wow. 100,000 gold coins per set. 500 sets was 50 million gold coins. Flanders' eyes turned into gold coins. Shrek's yearly tuition was only 100 gold coins. Tang San saved 1 gold coin for 3 years when he was a child. It was outrageous. But Tang Lan shook his head. Not happy with the price? Ning Fengzhi asked, surprised. Just name a price and it will be reasonable. Sect leader Ning misunderstands. Tang Lan produced a stack of blueprints. These are the designs for Python revolvers and Uzis. They're not difficult to make. The same firearms can be built very quickly. He handed the blueprints to Ning Fengzhi. Brother. Tang San stopped him. What are you doing? This is your hard work. Ning Fengzhi didn't take them, waiting for Tang Lan to explain. Little San, what are you worried about? Tang Lan said righteously, if we keep these soul tools to ourselves, they're just money-making tools for the Tang Sect. It'll be hard to increase production. But if we hand them over to the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School, they become weapons for the Tiando Empire. Once the Tiando Empire's armies are equipped with firearms on a large scale, unification of the continent won't be far off. I'm willing to sacrifice for the glory of Tiando. Tang San was speechless. Was his brother so selfless? Ning Rongrong's eyes shone. Their sect master was so cool. No one else believed a word of it. If Tang Lan was selfless, he wouldn't have founded the Tang Sect. Ning Fengzhi thought it over. I admire Sect Master Tang's dedication, and I'll be sure to inform His Majesty Shui. But we can't let Sect Master Tang be completely selfless, can we? If you have any requests, just name them. Well then. Ning Fengzhi wasn't good at fighting, but was cunning. Tang Lan got straight to the point. He pulled out a square box and gave it to Chen Xian. Before that, I still need Sword Douluo to help test this soul tool. Take this to Soto City. Press the green button on the side when it lights up. Chen Xian took the box without questions. Soto City is only 4 kilometers away. 10 breaths is enough. He flew off on his sword. Tang Lan took out another square box and silently counted to 10. He opened the lid to reveal rows of buttons. It was a push-button phone. Tang Lan pressed 000002, then the call button, and turned on the speakerphone. Beep. Beep. Click. The phone was silent, nothing like being in the city. but considering Chen Xian's appearance, he was probably very cool. Even if someone was standing next to him, they probably wouldn't dare to say anything. "Hello?" Tang Lan shouted. "Sword Douluo, can you hear me?" The person on the other end was silent for a few seconds, then he said, "This soul tool allows long-distance communication." "Exactly, Your Majesty Sword Douluo, can you hear me?" Tang Lan flattered. Silence again. The audience was silent too. Could people talk to each other over 4 kilometers using soul tools? Unheard of. The shock was even greater than the firearms. After all, attacking soul tools were new, but this was unheard of. Less than half a minute later, Ning Fengzhi finally came to his senses and tried to find out. "Uncle Jian, you're in the city. Why don't you get some of Rongrong's favorite blue flower cakes?" Ning Rongrong's expression changed, but she stayed silent. "Fengzhi, don't bother," Chen Xian said. "Rongrong doesn't like cakes, especially blue flowers." Ning Fengzhi's eyes lit up. "How far is the range?" he asked. "Can it reach more than 10 kilometers? Tang Lan shook his head. Ning Fengzhi was a little disappointed, but even at 4 kilometers, if the numbers are good, it still has strategic significance. "How about production?" Tang Lan shook his head again. He pointed to the blue-silver grass beneath his feet. "You can make calls anywhere blue-silver grass grows." Ning Fengzhi was stunned, then his eyes widened. Based on Tang Lan's behavior, he wasn't one to exaggerate. If anything, he underestimated. This was for real. "Excellent. Excellent. Excellent. God bless Tiendo." Ha ha ha. He was so out of character, even Ning Rongrong had never seen him like this, but no one could blame Ning Fengzhi. Firearms could greatly increase the strength of the Tiendo Empire, but this communication soul tool could change the continent's landscape. Why had the Tiendo and Xinglua empires been unable to conquer each other? Aside from the spirit hall being rooted between them, the most important thing was control. Douluo continent was 16,000 kilometers in diameter. The two empires were vast, with their main areas concentrated within 1,000 kilometers of the capital. Any further and it was too hard to manage. Even using a flying soul beast, it would take a week. If there was a drought, it would be hard to control. After a month of going back and forth, the day lilies would be cold, so they had to delegate power and allow local governments to govern independently. That created local emperors. Over time, many local emperors became disobedient. They were mainly dependent on information gaps, but with this communication soul tool, the emperor's reach expanded to the entire empire. The days of the local emperors were over. Once Tiendo was united, and its army was equipped with firearms, would the Star Luo Empire still be a problem? Would unification be far behind? And what would happen to Ning Fengzhi's status? The 7 treasures glazed tile school would reach new heights in his hands. Thinking of all this, Ning Fengzhi looked at Tang Lan. This communication soul tool was too important. But behind Tang Lan was Haotian Douluo. Tang Lan smiled. Ning Fengzhi was not a good person. He said, "I can give you the manufacturing blueprints for this soul tool." But Ning Fengzhi frowned. If Tang Lan was still a child, Ning Fengzhi would have lived in vain for decades. Tang Lan must be planning something. Ning Fengzhi looked at Flanders. "Dean, isn't it time for classes to start? We shouldn't delay the student studies." Flanders understood. This was about clearing the area. "Sect Leader Ning and Sect Master Xiao Tang, please go to the Dean's office to continue the negotiation. This playground is for training the little monsters." Ning Fengzhi nodded and gestured to Tang Lan. "Sect Master Tang, please. Let's go, Sect Leader Ning." Ning Fengzhi didn't refuse and left side by side with Tang Lan. Ning Rongrong wanted to follow but was stopped by Ning Fengzhi. "What, are you keeping secrets?" Ning Rongrong asked. "Is the communication soul tool so important?" Zhu Zhuqing, Tang San and others shook their heads. They couldn't grasp the bigger picture. Only Flanders saw something. After all, he was experienced. He smiled to himself. The Tang Sect and the 7 treasures glazed tile school were both developing, so he wouldn't lose out either. He was having a dream. Then he saw Oscar and Ma Hongjun running over, immediately angry. Was he going to die of anger today? Oscar. Ma Hongjun. Stand at attention. Stay in the gravity zone until noon. Dean's office, a negotiation affecting the continent was underway, 8,200 plus words for 2 chapters, please vote. My wife is 3 weeks pregnant, and her second child will be born in June or July next year. My surname is Chen. Do you have any recommended names? After these 2 days of busy work, I will add an update immediately. Chapter 39 sees the middle luck. The soul bone attached to the body is 20,000 years old. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dean's room, Tang Lan and Ning Fengzhi sat across from each other, looking serious. Sect Master Tang, please, tell me more. Tang Lan pulled out blueprints for a Python revolver, an Uzi, and a mobile phone, slamming them onto the table. We're both smart, so I'll cut to the chase. When the Tang Sect started out, we had 2 major soul tools, but the saying goes, an ordinary man is not guilty, but he becomes guilty by possessing a treasure. I needed a safe place to grow. So, I gave the blueprints to the Qibao Glazed Sect. You could mass-produce these soul tools and ensure my safety. And since you'd be the only foundry, the benefits are obvious. The boost to your reputation is what sect leader Ning values most, right? It's a win-win. No one gets hurt. Ning Fengzhi nodded, agreeing with Tang Lan's logic, but he zeroed in on the key point. I heard from Rongrong that the firearms soul guides need something called a bullet to work, that he got that intel fast, Tang Lan admitted. The Tang Sect will handle all bullet production. But I need Ning Fengzhi's help with manpower and funding to set up the production line. Wow. He's trying to get something for nothing, exactly. Ning Fengzhi couldn't refuse. After all, someone else developed the firearms soul guides in the first place. What's wrong with mastering the core technology? Giving part of the soul guide manufacturing to the Qibao Glazed Sect for OEM work was already a significant slice of the profits. No problem. The Qibao Glazed Sect will help the Tang Sect build this assembly line. Then thank you, Sect Master Ning, for your generosity. Tang Lan smiled, pushing the drawing over. Ning Fengzhi picked it up and glanced at it, called it. The Barrett and Vulcan cannon, 2 heavy hitters, weren't included. Ning Fengzhi wasn't annoyed, he nodded, appreciating Tang Lan's caution. Even if the Tang Sect controlled the bullets, Barrett's ultra-long-range sniping and the Vulcan cannon's massive firepower were still a huge threat to both the Tang Sect and the Qibao Glazed Sect, so, even firearms without bullets needed strict distribution controls. Ning Fengzhi tentatively suggested, when I get back, I'll choose some core disciples to train with the Barrett and Vulcan cannon. Then we'll need Sect Master Tang's help. Tang Lan agreed, neither dwelled on these minor details. Next up, the main event. Ning Fengzhi pulled out the drawing on his phone, his eyes shining. This was the key to unifying Tiando. The Qibao Glazed Sect's ticket to eternal fame. So, he needed absolute control. Sect Master Tang, this mobile phone soul guide seems to be missing its core. Ning Fengzhi said directly. This control module is blank. Tang Lan shrugged. It's not that I don't want to give it to you, but it wouldn't do you any good. Sect Master Ning knows who I am, right? Ning Fengzhi nodded. I met Haotian Douluo once. Uncle Jian noticed that the woman with him looked a lot like your sister, Xiao Wu. No need to be coy. Yep, my mother's the 100,000-year blue-silver emperor. Tang Lan admitted it. My martial spirit, blue-silver grass, reawakened as the blue-silver emperor the day I awakened it, and I got some inherited memories. The core of this mobile soul guide is controlling the blue-silver grass. I'm the only one on the entire continent who can make it. Tang Lan took out his phone and opened the cover. Inside was a section of blue-silver emperor branches and leaves, connected by dense lines. Ning Fengzhi smiled knowingly. Luckily, Tang Hao made me hesitate for a moment, otherwise, if I had blown it, I would have found out it was useless. And this great opportunity would have been gone, but Ning Fengzhi wasn't giving up yet. If I can't control this soul guide, then I'll control you. What does Sect Master Tang think of my daughter, Rongrong? Damn. Ning Fengzhi was ruthless, using his beloved daughter as a bargaining chip. Too bad. Not feeling it. Tang Lan shook his head. On the first night of school, she snuck into my room and stole stuff. She's just got a bad streak. Ning Fengzhi. Sounds like Rongrong. I appreciate sect leader Tang showing restraint. Ning Fengzhi said helplessly, then the Qibao Glazed sect will fund a production base for this mobile phone soul guide. To make things easier for sect master Tang, why not set it up in Soto City? Tang Lan shook his head. No need. The production base should be located near the Qibao Glazed sect. Ning Fengzhi was overjoyed. Did Tang Lan change his mind and want to join the Qibao Glazed sect? Before he could even try, Tang Lan continued, I don't need to make the mobile phone cores myself. The blue-silver grass that's over 70,000 years old has evolved into the blue-silver king. You can have them manufacture blue-silver grass chips, although the quality won't be as good as mine, and the signal will be slower. Tang Lan took out a map and handed it to Ning Fengzhi. After the mobile phone soul guide was created, I sent a signal through the blue-silver grass across the continent, looking for the blue-silver king who is more than 70,000 years old. There are 9 in total. Here's their location. I've already talked to them as their king. I'll leave it to Sect Master Ning to transplant them. There are also 15 blue-silver grasses that are over 50,000 years old and 57 that are over 10,000 years old. Sect leader Ning can transplant those too. They grow faster near the blue-silver king. If you feed them heavenly treasures, they can evolve into 70,000-year-old blue-silver kings quickly. Okay. How is this a partnership? It's just being hands-off. Ning Fengzhi took the map. He was happy to do it. Again, Tang Lan has the core tech, and Ning Fengzhi has wealth and talent. They cooperate, and each get something out of it. Everyone wins. Tang Lan could have picked someone else to work with, but Ning Fengzhi had to pick Tang Lan. Tang Lan had the upper hand. I'll send people to transplant them right away. Ning Fengzhi said seriously. Also, I'll recommend that His Majesty issue a decree listing blue-silver grass as a nationally protected plant. Anyone who destroys it will be prosecuted. Good point. It's a start towards what Tang Lan said before, protecting his people. Sect Master Ning is thoughtful. It's only right. Ning Fengzhi smiled. We're partners now. No need to be so formal, right? Tang Lan blinked. What was Ning Fengzhi up to? Wanting to be his teacher? Or should he call him uncle? He wasn't sure. I had a great time chatting with my little brother. What do you say we become sworn brothers? Ning Fengzhi suggested. Tang Lan raised his eyebrows. This Ning Fengzhi, he was pretty open-minded. His daughter was a year younger than him, and he wanted to be sworn brothers. Alright, this was interesting. Anyway, he had nothing to lose, so why not become sworn brothers? Sounds good. Great. Ning Fengzhi was thrilled. I'll make arrangements now. Tang Lan waved his hand. Skip the ceremony. You're my brother from today on. Everyone's just having fun. No need to be serious. Ning Fengzhi paused, not pushing it. He reached into his storage ring, taking out a golden plant exuding rich blood energy. This is a 70,000-year-old crystal blood dragon ginseng, great for Landi's development. Or, give it to Xiao Wu and she'll turn into human form faster. Oh. That was a good deal. Tang Lan took it without hesitation. It wasn't for nothing, of course. He activated his blue-silver domain, focused his mental power into a ball, and floated it in front of Ning Fengzhi. Here are 2 soul skills I created. Brother, you can train in the Lingbo Weibo. Even a titled Douluo would have trouble catching you. And giving the immortal seal to Bone Douluo is perfect. Ning Fengzhi had heard of the power of those techniques. He solemnly absorbed the mental ball, then reached into his robes and took out a book. This is the secret method of my 7 treasures glazed sect, distraction control. It will help Brother Lan control the blue-silver emperor spirit. Okay. Just to make Tang Lan owe him a favor, right? Tang Lan took it. He was shameless enough to not even think about payback. Ning Fengzhi smiled, satisfied. The system prompt finally showed up. The host cooperates with the Qibao Glazed sect and becomes sworn brother to Ning Fengzhi, cutting off Tang San's major help. Sees a moderate amount of Tang San's luck. Reward, 20,000 external soul bones, ice jade scorpion tail. A 20,000-year-old external soul bone. That was a huge win. He used the Qibao Glazed sect to strengthen his power and influence. He was now tied to the interests of the Qibao Glazed sect and indirectly allied with the Tiando Empire. The Spirit Hall couldn't touch him, now the system was giving him a soul bone. Awesome. Tang Lan could barely contain his grin. Ning Fengzhi was happy to see him happy. Tang Lan must really like his gift, he added. Rongrong is practicing distraction control. If you're having trouble, you can ask her. We may be sworn brothers, but we're still different people. Rongrong doesn't have to hold back. No need to hold back. You don't say. Tang Lan wanted to absorb his new soul bone, so he wasn't going to chat for too long. He was about to wrap things up when he remembered something. He said, my father heard from my mother that there's a treasure called whale glue on the seaside. Brother, do you know about it? Ning Fengzhi was stunned, his expression strange. He knew about it. He'd used it. I know something about it. What's Lan Di planning? You're too young for that, right? Oh wait, Tang Lan knew what Ning Fengzhi was thinking and rolled his eyes. Brother, whale glue is an aphrodisiac, but it's also very nourishing for soul masters. It strengthens the body, enhances the muscles, bones, and meridians, and increases endurance. You know what that means, right? Ning Fengzhi understood. He reached into his storage tool and pulled out 7 dark yellow objects, whale glue, each was 10,000 years old. Ning Fengzhi's wife might be gone, but he still had this stuff. TSK, Ning Fengzhi coughed. Those were my reserves from back in the day. I almost forgot about them. Here, you take them. I'll have people collect more later. Tang Lan took it without hesitation and stood up. Brother, get your people moving. I'll be waiting at Shrek. Ning Fengzhi stood up. I'll get on it ASAP. Lan Di, you just focus on training. With your talent, you'll surpass your father and become the new Haotian Douluo. Tang Lan just smiled. Haotian Douluo. His goal was at least Poseidon. As they left, they saw Chen Xian standing guard. Tang Lan thought for a moment, creating a ball of mental light and putting the first 3 layers of the 9 yang divine art inside. He handed it to Chen Xian. This is my soul power route. It'll make your soul power the strongest and most positive. It's great for attack-type spirits. Can I trade it for Uncle Jian's soul ring condensation technique? As a title Douluo, Chen Xian had definitely heard their conversation. He knew that Tang Lan, Ning Fengzhi, Tang Sect, and the Qibao Glazed sect were now in it together. This was a good trade. He reached into his robes, took out a book, and handed it to Tang Lan. This is my swordsmanship understanding. The secret technique is also in there. Tang Lan took the book with both hands. He stored it in his blue king and took out 2 more storage rings. I made one of these myself. This one's for Uncle Jian, and can you give this to Uncle Bone? Even Chen Xian was surprised. Was there anything this kid couldn't do? Storage soul tools were rare. Only Ning Fengzhi and Ning Rongrong had them in the Qibao Glazed sect. Chen Xian was envious. He took it. Chen Xian touched the light ball and squinted for a few seconds. When he opened his eyes, they were wide with wonder. What a genius! He could actually temper meridians. If he mastered the 9 yang divine skill, he could break through another level. He had gotten a good deal, he promised. The Qibao Glazed sect and the Tang Sect are one. If you need anything, just ask. Tang Lan nodded. That was another favor in the bag. As for Xiao Wu, what was a 100,000-year soul beast to him? Those were his precious children, and he'd fight anyone who hurt them. Then, Blue Brother, I'll head back to the sect. Ning Fengzhi said, someone should be in contact with you in about a week. I won't be around. I have to go to the Tiando Palace. When you get a chance, introduce my disciple Xue Qinghe to Lan Di. He's the crown prince of the Qiando Empire. Xue Qinghe. Xianren Xue, right? Tang Lan was interested, so he agreed. He watched Ning Fengzhi step onto Chen Xian's 7-killing sword and fly away. He could vaguely see the Qibao glazed pagoda martial spirit. Was that a turbo boost? Ning Fengzhi was in a hurry. Tang Lan turned and went back to the dormitory. System, take out the attached soul bone. A 2-meter-long turquoise light flashed, and a scorpion tail could be seen through the halo, ice jade scorpion tail. Tang Lan suddenly thought about something. His internal power of the 9-yang divine skill was strong. This ice jade scorpion tail was ice-based, could he even use it? If this soul bone wasn't compatible with him, that would be bad. System, explain. Silence. Tang Lan thought about it. He decided to try it. The system's products were usually high quality. Tang San could refine his body with ice and fire. Why couldn't Tang Lan combine ice and fire? Anyway, it was an external soul bone. If it didn't work, he could cut it off. He had a blue-silver right leg bone for regeneration. Here goes nothing. Tang Lan grabbed the soul bone and inserted it into his tailbone. He went into wandering to the world mode. It took 3 hours, and it was already lunch time. Then it was completely absorbed. Tang Lan came back to his body and summoned the ice jade scorpion tail. Chapter 40 New Soul Bone Technique. Take whale gum. Xiao Wu is playing with fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Back in his room, Tang Lan immediately summoned the ice jade scorpion tail. A vibrant green scorpion tail burst from his pants, its hooked end wrapping around his body, holding it steady. This wasn't like your average, bony scorpion tail. The ice jade scorpion tail had 5 distinct sections, each a shade of green, widest near his body and tapering towards the end. The hook, attached to the final section, sparkled with diamond-like particles, its tip boasting a silver-white, mirror sheen, pure luxury. At first glance, it looked more like a work of art than a weapon. Matches my style perfectly, Tang Lan thought, nodding in satisfaction. He tried to coil it into a forging hammer shape but failed. The ice jade scorpion tail, with its unique 5-section, 6-foot length, was too unwieldy, but... Whoosh! Crack! The ice jade scorpion tail lashed out, creating a sonic boom, flexibility sacrificed for raw power. Even at just level A, its strength rivaled a typical third soul skill. Now, for the soul bone skill, venomous ice needle. The ultimate ice of the ice jade scorpion tail, colliding with the 9-yang divine skill's ultimate fire, generating explosive force to launch the tail's point, shattering all defenses. On impact, it would inject the opponent with a volatile mix of ultimate ice and fire, detonating it internally, instant kill. Tang Lan's eyes lit up. While the venomous ice needle had drawbacks, high energy consumption, short range, and tricky control, its advantages were undeniable: massive attack and damage. The ice jade scorpion tail's special design amplified Tang Lan's body strength more than twofold. Get in close, unleash the venomous ice needle, and anyone less than 20 levels above him wouldn't stand a chance. Nice, another ace in the hole. Tang Lan took stock. His soul ring's lifespan had increased by about 5,000 years, and his body felt stronger than ever. Major gains. Tang Lan pressed his advantage. He grabbed a piece of whale glue and stuck it to the hammer face of his Lei Yan Haotian hammer. He roasted it with his flame ability until it was golden liquid, releasing a faint, pleasant fragrance. Down the hatch, he felt a wave of heat wash over him, triggering instinctive urges, but as soon as Tang Lan activated the 9-yang divine art, they vanished. Digestion was complete in minutes. A slight improvement, only about 120 years added to his lifespan. Makes sense. Tang Lan's physique was already top tier, whale glue's effectiveness was bound to diminish. Should have eaten the whale glue before absorbing the soul bone. Too eager, made a mistake. He ate 2 more pieces of whale glue, adding 70 and 30 years, respectively. Eating any more would be pointless. He stashed the remaining 4 pieces to give to Xiao Wu later. Tang Lan grabbed Chen Xian's insights and quickly scanned it. 7 strikes call the thunder, 1 sword pierces the sky. 13 strings in a cup, half the wind and rain, all in one sword. The peaks on Yampingjian are as if they were cut, and the empty water in the river grows when the sword is removed. Wow! Sure, this inspired the 7-killing sword and not a poetry collection. Though the handwriting was sharp, it did suggest the art of swordsmanship, but Tang Lan was a hammer guy, clueless about swords. He skipped to the end. He found an article, solidifying the ring. Because it was about insights rather than secret methods, it was just scattered thoughts. The gist: after the soul ring expands and before the soul skill is released, the soul ring goes through a shaping phase. At this moment, you can alter its form and embed it into your spirit. It's not just for show, because this happens right after the ring expands. If you want to use soul skills, there's no need to expand the ring. The soul skills can be activated directly from within. The time saved is minimal, about 0.01 seconds, but every little bit counts. Chen Xian's 7-killing sword was faster than others at the same level, allowing him to disrupt the enemy's rhythm and expose openings. Interesting idea. Tang Lan summoned the Life-Soul Blue-Silver Emperor and expanded the Blue-Silver domain. From a bird's-eye view, he searched for the shaping phase. Like they say, can't see the forest for the trees. Focusing intently, he quickly sensed that fleeting moment. With a little manipulation, that he lifted the soul ring from under his feet. It transformed into a black leaf, attaching to the Life-Soul Blue-Silver Emperor. Following the same principle, the Life-Soul Blue-Silver Emperor now had 3 black leaves. Pretty simple. Tang Lan stretched, realizing it was getting dark. Time flies. Knock knock knock. Brother. Xiao Wu called softly. It's been a whole day, still busy. Tang Lan stood up and opened the door. Xiao Wu looked at him with concern. After confirming he was okay, she smiled, throwing herself into his arms. Brother, you're amazing. That sword. Douluo looked at me like I was a soul ring at first. Scary eyes. But he didn't attack me. You're so powerful. Xiao Wu's face was glowing with admiration, thrilled to have dodged a bullet. Tang Lan smiled and stroked her hair. He had that covered. Even if Ning Fengzhi lost it, Tang Hao was around. 6 years, his hidden injuries were nearly healed by the 9-yang divine art. Wouldn't take much to take down Ning Fengzhi, and as for Ning Fengzhi needing help, Tang Lan was confident he could win against that weakling in 3 minutes. Even if Tang San's spirit was mediocre, with Barrett and hidden weapons, he could keep other soldiers at bay temporarily. That's why Tang Lan had Xiao Wu confront the title Douluo directly. Good way to get used to it. Unexpectedly, Ning Fengzhi had surprised him. Tang Lan pulled out the 70,000-year-old crystal blood dragon ginseng. Xiao Wu sniffed. What's that? Smells so good. The one Ning Fengzhi gave you. Tang Lan smiled. The 70,000-year-old crystal blood dragon ginseng will speed up your transformation. Xiao Wu was stunned. 70,000 years. She wasn't even that old. 100,000-year soul beast refers to their cultivation level, not their actual age. You're giving me something this precious? Xiao Wu asked, unsure. Just showing it off. Give it back. Tang Lan teased, reaching for it. Xiao Wu dodged and snatched it away, making a face. No way. What's mine is mine. Thanks, bro. She darted into the bedroom. Tang Lan smiled and closed the door, using his blue-silver grass to seal the entire room. He'd guard Xiao Wu tonight. This was 70,000-year-old fairy grass. The effects were potent, even with the 9-yang divine art strengthening her meridians, that it would be hard to digest. So, Tang Lan first melted 4 pieces of whale glue and fed them to Xiao Wu, strengthening her physique and adding about 1,100 years to her lifespan. Then, she consumed the crystal blood dragon ginseng, but her internal energy was raging, on the verge of exploding. Tang Lan stepped in and absorbed it, using the absorbing the same source ability, unique to the 9-yang divine art at its peak. He swallowed some of Xiao Wu's 9-yang divine art energy. With her meridians relieved, there was no risk of her exploding. Over and over, in and out, the night passed. Tang Lan's internal strength had increased significantly, though it was hard to measure, but Xiao Wu's level rose visibly. And she became more and more human. Xiao Wu opened her eyes and jumped onto Tang Lan, excited. Brother. I'm level 37. And my complete transformation level is at 50. This is great. Ha ha ha. Horsey. 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 Like a tap-dancing woodpecker, she was a whirlwind of energy. Tang Lan was furious. Xiao Wu sensed the change and her expression shifted. She immediately jumped down and her third soul ring lit up, teleport. She was gone. Tang Lan was left fuming. Damn it. This girl starts the fire and doesn't put it out. Sometimes, he wanted to ditch this pure yang tenfold accelerator and punish her on the spot. Phew. Tang Lan took a shower to cool off, then he walked out of the dorm. Unexpectedly, Ning Rongrong was waiting at the door. Seeing Tang Lan, she rushed over. Sect Master, you're finally out. Will you keep your promise? Tang Lan had promised that, once the deal was done, Ning Rongrong could choose any skill to learn. Tang Lan wouldn't back out, except for the complete 9-yang magic. He had nothing to hide. As long as they were careful not to leak it, it would be fine. Which one do you want to learn? Tang Lan asked. He thought Ning Rongrong would choose the Seal of Immortality. In no mood. Chapter 2 is 6,500 words. Today I took the baby's first birthday photo with me. I'm tired after working hard all afternoon, so I don't want to force myself to continue writing. Actually, I deleted nearly 2,000 words and wrote a stupid plot. There will be no chores tomorrow, so let me update everyone. Begging for votes.